I forgot my PNG. I need to pull that up real fast. That was my own freaking fault. There we go. Hide the UI, down to size. Everything looking good. There we go. Okay, I'm popping up in the corner. Everything's looking good on OBS side. Welcome, welcome, Tenwin. I see you there. Let me just make sure that Twitch is still picking me up properly. There we go. Bitrate's good. Okay. You have Tenwin. I'm honestly... I mean, to be fair, Stream Elements is not exactly super fast, but, you know, honestly, it's just kind of nice to see you consistently be here. It really is. Okay, that updated. That's good. All right, we're going to dive right in then. Let me adjust my mic slightly here. There we go. Okay, so as the stream title suggests, we're probably going to be spending most of our time talking to people today because we still need to get through all of this and we need to do the quest for the Seamok guy. Oh, that's the Blood Sands. For some reason, I came over this way thinking that was it, but I would have had to come this way anyways in order to get to it. Okay. Right. Let's get Sagani leveled up real fast. We'll just hold off on that. What else was there for her? Damage reduction. Binding Roots Sprout modifies binding roots to deal additional pierce and slash damage. Yeah, it's not worse. Go and get the baby / Vela before you go and give Seamok the poison. Just trust me. I will, Tenwin. You haven't led me astray, and I'm not one for spoilers, but if you're saying this is the more interesting path, I'm willing to hear you out on it. Right now, though, I don't think there was much else I wanted to give her. He's already got... I don't remember her having issues with getting paralyzed, though, because most people don't target her. We picked up the Thorny Roots. But then again, we're not seeing anything else really, so yes. We'll go ahead and get body control, make sure she can't get paralyzed or stunned. I'm fine with that. Okay, let's finish talking to Sheeta and Renwin. How do you fare, old one? I have questions for you and your sister, if you wouldn't mind. Well, she can. It just makes it more likely she was... I know.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know that I was pursuing Theos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that you've had many people come to these elms without knowing why. A soul has a will of its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
You two. I wish to know more about you and your kind.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
No, we haven't gotten that far, Tenwin. Besides, I like official romances, not just side dalliances. If I romance an NPC, it needs to have some character to it. Can't just be, oh yeah, you wanna bang?
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
Could you tell me more about this support of the gods that I need to seek out?
We will tell you what we can. Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, You have found it.
So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
And who would I pray to? There are many gods. Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
And there is no other way.
None.
How should I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
Not like the new DA game that apparently Veilguard has very opposite responses. Yeah, I've already seen some of the preliminary reviews and everybody's just screaming about it on both sides. Personally, I just didn't like the direction that both the gameplay or the story was going back in Inquisition because I never finished it. I just never really felt a need to. It's been described as Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, oh, yeah, no, that level of humor should not be in a Dragon Age game, in my opinion. If people enjoy it, then they enjoy it, but that already sounds like I'm not going to be picking it up anytime soon. Morning, Stylish. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's really kind of baffling. Like, you don't have to necessarily be evil, but if you can't even be like, yeah, not even slightly mean in an RPG, it's like, that seems a little stupid. How am I doing? I'm doing great, Stylish. I'm doing great. Yesterday was, I missed streaming. I missed streaming yesterday. I really needed it, so I'm glad I'm back.
What
I have
do
other
you wish to
questions,
know?
and apparently
Until
not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, speed it back up. It was just a long day yesterday, and I'm just glad to have this today. We already did the Golden Grove. We went inside of these homes. So we need to head back to the Hearthsong District, if I recall. Any plans for Halloween? Probably not. Most of the places around here either do like trunk or treat things where all the parents will get together with the candy in the trunks at like the schools and stuff like that. So I will just hang out at my apartment building and not worry about having people constantly knock on my door. Should I check out Old Song for... No, we'll go ahead and do the Hearthsong quest first and get that over with. Think about how your stream is tagged. No minors in the game in particular. Duran says 90% of the wisdom kids should not partake. Absolutely. Also, just... It's something I've picked up from a lot of the streamers that I've watched, which is... You don't want to be one of those people who starts a streaming thing, they get into it, they start building a community, and then they find out from their, like, demographic information stuff that a bunch of the people who watch them are under 18. I don't want to have to worry about that. I don't want to have to worry that all of a sudden I'm going to have to tone down my language or that people are going to start communicating with me who absolutely should not. Like, I don't care. I don't want to talk to people who are under 18. I don't care if it's for a completely legitimate reason. It's still not going to look good. It's still not going to sound good to anybody. That's just not something anybody on the internet who's doing streaming content should be, like, engaging in. That's just my opinion on it. Yes. Had some ideas to discuss. Did you? I could have sworn I checked... Hold on, I'll take 1 second real fast. I could have sworn I checked Discord before I got on. That's weird, Stylish. The last message from you was saying that the adjustment that I was asking for would be no problem. That was after talking about the mechanical arm issue for the logo we were working on. Did you send it through me did you send it to me through Twitter or something? Because I am not seeing anything on the Discord end. We can continue the discussion after stream. Okay, I've got no problem with that. I just don't see any update from the last time we were talking. Ah, there we go. Unlock with the rusty key. But yeah, no, Durance alone is already talking about things in a way that really kids shouldn't. And again, you get all of these horror stories of content creators who inevitably end up in all sorts of situations with minors. I'm just cutting that in the bud. If somebody who's under 18 wants to lurk in my streams, there's nothing I can do to stop them. But if they start talking and they start mentioning that they're under 18, they're getting like, I'm chucking them. That seems to be the standard operating procedure from pretty much every VTuber and streamer that I watch, and I'm just going to continue that forward. Okay, hold on. Make sure everything's good here. Got some cocoa beans, earth fire, got some fish. The Orlin baby lies in a crib, tiny and dark-furred. Though her eyes are closed with sleep, she squirms under the blanket and nuzzles the pillow. So, Tenwin, you're saying take the baby, don't give it to the priests, but do give the poison to the other person, right? Wait, even if unintentional? No, I get it. They just don't know how to act online. They don't know how to act online, and they don't know how other people act online. No, believe me, I know. I was one of those people who had access to the internet way before I should have. I've been in that position as someone who was under 18 years ago. Trust me, I'm very much, I understand where you're coming from, Tim, and I understand why people don't, like some people build their communities without it. Yura's weapon is drawn. Her eyes burn with anger. He looks more like his father than ever. I knew my father was a soulless beast, but you... He snarls, showing you a row of my father's right about one thing. I can't trust an Estramore's word. Shit, because we have 1 point in Deceptive versus 4 in Honest? Are you fucking kidding me, game? I needed to move her somewhere safe. Not a chance. Well, fuck. Really hoping that I had Honest 4. Honest 4. Why does that not cancel out Deceptive 1? Deceptive doesn't impact this, to be clear. I mean, that doesn't appear to be the case, but I'll believe you, Tenwin.
Ready, Watcher.
Okay. Why is Durance in the front? He should not be in the front. Why am I in the front? Okay, hold on. Melee, 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 ranged. Great. Durance, split off to the side. Haravius, you're our primary spellcaster right now. That Deceptive tag marks you get a special dialogue to having Deceptive. Okay. Oh, you can't convince him not to do this. Well, I mean, that's kind of understandable given where we're at. Finding roots. Can you try to do that on him?
I'm ready.
We're just going to go ahead and try to mind control their leader right off the bat. There we go. You go after him. You go after him. Try to knock him down first. There we go. Haravius, go ahead and give me Hunter's Mark. And he got stunned. I don't know how he got stunned, but he got stunned somehow. Yep, go after them. Adair, knock him down again, please.
Ready, Watcher.
Okay, what the fuck was that? Go after the cipher.
Need something?
Yep. Come on, everybody. Their leader is about to be undominated here in a second. There we go. There we go, nice and simple. And a whole bunch of equipment. Anything foreign? Fine. Exceptional hatchet. Nice. The actual stats, 19 might, 10 constitution, 14 dexterity, 10 perception, 18 intelligence, and 17 resolve. And that is with a... What resting bonus do we have right now? We have a +2 to dexterity from our resting bonus. So if we needed to, we could go somewhere and get a different resting bonus to boost up the stats. That's taken care of. So then it's... Elm's Reach, that one. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, Elm's Reach. Okay, so now we go over to Shimok, right? Quick save. Oh, what did we get from nothing new to report? Nothing new to report. Those are... There's nothing got damaged, right? Nope. Alright. So do we let him know about this, or do we just give him the potion? I don't think there's anything else we needed to know about it, or anything that he would tell us. Oh, okay. Here's the potion you asked for. I thought we... Okay, so obviously that didn't work. Yeah, because we have intelligence 18, not 19. Okay, so if we want to do this without getting into a fight, we're going to need an intelligence bonus, which means we need a different resting bonus, or this isn't going to work. I mean, I'm assuming resolve would probably be the highest, but there's no way in hell that we're getting... Well, actually, we might be able to get that high enough resolve. The fight itself isn't important. I mean, you're the one who told me to do this, Tenwin. I'm taking your word on it. I'm just saying, if we're going to do the options there, we're going to need something other than our current loadout, and which means I need a different resting bonus than the one I've got. We can either get +1 to intellect or +2 to resolve. Either way, we need a different one. As long as you don't sacrifice the baby, the rest doesn't matter. Okay, well then I would prefer not fighting the entirety of his tribe. That sounds like a good idea. Plus, if we want to get the rest of his tribe on our side, it'd probably be good not to kill 24 of them in the process. So let me see. What is he saying?
It's Josie.
You know, does your tiara match your tail feathers?
We're about to find out if your viscera match your fur.
Forget I said anything. I rather value my viscera.
Okay, I guess it was Haravius' turn to stick his foot in his mouth. Unsurprising. It's 2 checks. Ah, so we might need to head all... depends on what the resting bonuses are here. I don't even know if we know them yet.
Hail and well met.
Let me see what you have. Resolve and survival, might, constitution, and resolve. That would get us to 19 resolve, which isn't enough. We're going to have to take a quick trip back to Caed Nua, grab the +3 to intellect one, and then do this, unfortunately. Might be a food resolve buff? Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Still, let me take a look here. Sort. Most of the raw food isn't going to give me anything. We need what we need to see what we can actually make here. Dexterity perception +1, intellect perception +1. Endurance and might, dexterity +2, constitution +2, constitution and perception +1, might +2, might +2, perception, constitution, intellect +3, or +2. Here we go. If that gets us up to 20, that can work. Go ahead and make one of those. Go ahead and put that in my inventory. That would get us to 20 intellect.
Right.
Okay, we can try that. Oh. So we also need a resolve check. Oh, God damn it. Was there any that gave +2 to resolve? Or +1 to resolve even, because I think the inn has a... Oh, the dragon meat gives +3 to resolve. So does the dragon egg. Son of a bitch. We can see if... Well, actually, hold on. The market. They might have a dragon egg. Because that's... We just need one. Ah. Who was selling the meat?
Many blessings, traveler.
No, hers was just the armor and traps. That was the weapons.
Hail, Estromor.
Nope, that was regular cooking supplies.
Hail, Estromor.
Hers was potions and really expensive shit.
Hail, Estromor.
Dragon egg. God, it's 3,000 for one. Can we offset the cost of that any? Don't need multiples of that. Don't need multiples of that. Exceptional hide armor. Probably don't need 2 of those. Definitely don't need the fine hide armors now. Scale armor. We've got 2 of those. There we go. That. Okay. Yeah. At least with the way the dragons have been set up in the Pillars of Eternity. Oh dear.
When I woke up with a wolf pack trying to eat me.
There. Mauled by a bear 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, look here. And here. Once the bull had me properly hooked on its horns, things got worse.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Heravius and Sagani are getting along just fine. As long as he doesn't try hitting on her. Though given that she's married, it strikes me that Heravius might... The one thing Heravius might respect is something like that.
Preferred traditional weaponry. Yet you seem uneasy with the bow.
Oh, I was a great shot when I had 2 eyes. I'm much worse now. It's hard for me to judge distances.
Well, you have the luxury of being able to catch dinner without the need of a bow.
Exactly. Why aren't more women complimenting me on that?
I mean, I certainly hope not, given the fact that resting bonuses count, so I don't know why food bonuses wouldn't count, but we're about to find out, I guess. Let me see here. Crafting, food, dragon egg dish, +3 resolve for 300 seconds. Craft. Go ahead and put that in my inventory. Come over here to him. Quick save real fast. Then we're going to go to my inventory. Chow down on that. That gets me to a 20 resolve. This is the essence potion you asked for. Send for Werder if you doubt it. He reaches out with a hand gnarled by age and battle. He clutches the vial close to one faded blue eye. This is my tribe's salvation. He drains the vial in one quick, long gulp. He swallows, sputters for a few seconds. He glares at you. His breath sounds ragged and wet. Poison! You poison me! He begins to raise his hand to the warriors in the other room. You just swallowed a mixture of concentrated essence and blood. How the hell did you expect to feel? I suppose you're right. He takes a few slow, deep breaths. I suppose I should thank you for your services. Safe travels, Estremor. Alright. Gain reputation with the Ovates of the Golden Gloro. You've lost reputation with the Ethic Null, and gain reputation with the Twin Elms. Okay, okay. I did not realize that we were dealing with so many different reputations. Yep, faintly bad with Ethic Null, ally with the Ovates, and ally with the Twin Elms. Good, 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 good. If I remember correctly, the lady did say it would take a while before the poison would go fully into effect. So we should have some time, which means we'll hopefully not have to deal with him again. I guess we'll go say hi to the Ethic Null and hope that they don't just try to kill me on sight. Are inherently different to eggs like nutrient-wise, or are they just bigger? Probably a bit of both. I would imagine, given reptile eggs probably have a slightly different nutrition profile than bird eggs, I would imagine. Supplicant. There's no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. If some fall in battle, how is that different? I mean, there's always a difference there. That's for damn sure. Alright. Hello. Jesus, okay. Welcome to your presence, Supplicant. I'm sure you do. Essence taken by force may sustain one, but essence given freely empowers many.
Upon Burial Isle, the two men meet again for the first time, though it was the last thing they did. The many-colored beast rent them both asunder. They were, in death, merged and made whole again. Cute story. Two guys meet in the belly of a soul-eating creature. Maybe someday I'll eat two of the most insipid deer wooden lumberjacks, and they'll spend an eternity discussing beer whilst haunting my colon.
Perhaps the idea is that the Autumn Stalgar does not simply destroy souls. Well, that could be true, Haravius mutters, but I guess I don't know what to make of this. I've never, knowingly at least, eaten anyone's soul. Maybe it's a trick I've yet to learn. Oh, lucky me. Still, I have a hard time believing that me spirit shifting and mauling anyone is going to make anybody whole again, no matter what this tablet says. I'd like to look at the other tablets and see what they have to say.
Right.
No, that one's not letting us. We'll deal with the priest here in a moment. What is that? That's a pearl. Well, why can't I... Okay, I guess. All right.
Upon Burial Isle, the two men meet again for the first time, though it was the last thing... We already read this in script.
But that's what I... What the fuck?
Upon Burial... We already read...
Okay, whatever. Moving on. A dwarven man stands motionless near the roaring fire that lights the cavern. Your sacrifice feeds the land, Supplicant. Come forth. A gust of smoke curls around him, licking the charred flesh that bulges on his forearm. The idea of a rare beast that eats souls is kind of neat, but it's odd to fit into the natural cycle in the wild. Yeah, the only thing I can think of as far as what we've been shown of this world's reincarnation cycle is that it definitely has something to do with maybe fragmenting souls, breaking them up and allowing them to merge with others later down the line in their reincarnation. It might be a case where, because we know some souls can retain a shocking amount of rigidity when they reincarnate. Theos being, of course, the premier example, given that he's blessed by Wodaka or something. Whatever's causing him to be able to reincarnate with all of his memories and everything intact. And we know that other strong souls can come back with most of their memories, though not all. It could be that the Autumn Stalgar exists to help break up particularly strong souls in order to allow them to more properly move through the wheel the way that they're supposed to. And to prevent things like awakenings from happening to certain people. They suddenly flex. Estremor. The dwarf holds his fists in a tight grip. Your kin doesn't come here to share with our tribes. What do you want? I wish to know about this place. This is the Blood Sands. The dwarf picks at his scarred forearm. His guttural sigh mingles with the crackling of wood and the bones within the fire. As I said, Estramoran rarely visit our halls. The Glenfathans call it the Blood Sands. We of the Ethic Knoll call it home, for we have tended the land from within this cave since before the arrival of any of the tribes to Twin Elms. These are the wild. I mean, at this point, such a creature would surely rarely encounter Kith, right? I mean, you would think, but if it is supposedly something that's guided by Galawain himself, that's a bit of a different question given the way the gods in this universe work. Garrost crosses his arms. Be warned, Estramor. We bleed life to nurture life. Our sacrifices may strike you as savage, but the health of these lands depends on them, and it's unseemly for guests to insult their hosts. Well, then why don't you tell me about your sacrifices? Garrost spreads his stocky legs apart and locks his forearm. Everything must die to return anew, Estramor. Though the sacrificial rites, we offer supplicants the honor of giving their most precious gift back to their brethren, back to the land. You have the Grim Reaper, I have the Horny Druid with no filter. I mean, yeah, that is kind of the funny thing with the way my character's been traveling around. The dwarf tilts his fist, thick and mottled by red scars. Blood gives us strength. Even the Glenfathans have come to depend on the blood paint. They brim with power in battle, thanks to the sacrifice of their kin. What can you tell me of the Ethic Knoll? Our order has thrived for generations. Before we came to Twin Elms, our rites fed the lands upon the eastern mountains. Now we share blood for Aer Glenfath. Garrost opens his palms, strikes of red skin run through them like flames. To everything that must end, our sacrifices bring new beginning. He looks up. We sustain what is to come. Goodbye. Remember, Estramor, that you are a guest in these halls. Respect our ways, and we tolerate your presence. Yeah, not surprised there. Let's go see what these other tomes have. Like that. You are named. Can you imagine that if the legacy would have affected the tribes more intensely, the Ethic Knoll would have lost a lot of influence, considering sacrificing people yourself isn't a good way? Yeah, most likely they'd have ended up coming to some conclusion where it's like, yes, we'll sacrifice someone and then portions of their soul will help the child regain their soul. And then when that didn't work, yeah, I can't imagine they'd be doing very well at all. Then again, the fact that they claim to be here from before the tribes has me intrigued. I think this... You remember my theory, which is that the Glenfathans are the descendants of slaves that once served under the Engwithans. I think the Ethic Knoll might have been one of the measures of control that the Engwithans might have used on those slaves as well. The petitioner before you is swaddled in loose-fitting robes. Her hair is greasy and matted, and a glossy film of sweat and grime coats her exposed skin. She has the swollen features of pregnancy, several missing teeth, and her big, grinning smile. As you approach, she slowly turns to you and examines you from head to toe, smiling the entire time. Joyous day to you, she says. Despite coming from a wearied body, her voice sounds resonant and relaxed. I am Naka, midwife and lorekeeper. Her hands run across the slight bulge of her belly. She rolls her head back and sighs a relaxed purr. Are you feeling well? Flawless, she replies. Apologies. I should be left to my meditation. The rite of strength is invigorating, almost overwhelming to the senses. She reaches down and cradles her belly in her hands and turns away. That wasn't creepy at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello. Oh, lockpicks. Thank you. Oh, they just have elementals tamed up in here. Interesting. Oh. Don't mind me. I ain't gonna do nothing. Just some money. The blood of sacrifice waters.
Split
There we
into
go.
multitudes. Many lives come from one. The truest of power comes from sacrificing the shard to return its strength to the Mother Stone.
As souls split into multitude, many lives come from one. The truest of power comes from sacrificing the shard to return strength to the Mother Stone. See, this explicitly sounds like something related to souls, and to the Adra as the extension of souls that the Engwithans used.
The many lives from one sounds familiar. I was taught that sometimes between death and rebirth, a soul splits perfectly in two, creating two viable souls from one. Sounds strange, but it makes sense when you think about how the population has risen in generations. It's kind of a mathematical necessity that some process like this is happening.
Old pagan vibes. Yeah, usually has very creepy vibes. I mean, yes. It's people forget just how detached. I mean, let's be honest. The Christianity has melded into Western culture for over almost 2,000 years now. It's very hard to It's very hard to mentally imagine pagan rites and the like without either being influenced by that Christian overlay of sorts culturally, or just not having a clue how they worked because we don't have the records on it and we don't have the firsthand experience for how it works. Like, even just going into actual world history, it's very hard for us to comprehend those kind of things. And the closest pagan, quote unquote, pagan religions we have nowadays that have long-standing traditions of this type are the two largest that I can think of is Shintoism in Japan, which is very ritualized and much more formal than you'd think of from European paganism, and Hinduism, which is free form is kind of the only word I can think for it. I'm not trying to underplay their importance, but they are very... Hinduism has a long history of rapidly changing its ceremonies and its traditions while maintaining its underlying principles. So they've adapted to the modern world into the last like 2 or 3 centuries very well for a very freewheeling pagan style religion, what is the word? Polytheistic religion. That's the proper term to put it as. Whereas ancient, like, this is very much drawing from like ancient Celtic, ancient Germanic, European style, which is something that, again, we don't really have the means to erase 2,000 years of cultural overlay from how the West has developed over the last 2 millennia to really look at this through how ancient peoples would see it. We just don't. And it doesn't help that we don't really have any written records from people at those times, aside from the Romans, who, well, to call the Romans somewhat biased would probably be the nicest way of putting it. Maybe the Autumn Stelgar has a very important role to play in this life cycle of souls. Sorry, sir, but I am not eating your soul. I am merely serving a vital role in the natural process. Aravius rolls his eye. I see what you're getting at, friend, but it's not making me feel any better. Fungus that grows on shit has an important role in the natural order that wouldn't make me thrilled to spirit shift into a shit blossom. I just can't shake the fear that I'm the shard and my destiny is to be fed to something larger. Aravius stares at you wide-eyed and silent for a few moments. Worrying won't do me any good. Let's read the other tablets. Still have some old pagan, Christianized version, midsummer festivals and thing. We still dance. But that's what I mean. It's like, they are Christianized versions. It's just that people think like, oh, Christianized, so if we just remove a few elements, it won't be Christianized anymore. No. You're trying to... You'd have to figure out how to undo 1,500 years or more of Christianization. And quite frankly... we really just don't know. We don't fully know what aspects of it were pagan and what aspects of it were fully Christian and what got amalgamated and what got thrown out. Like, we can certainly try. You see people that various neo-pagan move. I think the one for the Norse is Astaru or something. I remember running across it on the internet a while back. You have various Wiccan and those kind of related feats. You have a couple people. I know there's a couple organizations in Italy and Greece that are neo-Hellenic, after the Roman and Greek gods. But even then, it's just a lot of this stuff we don't have record for. We don't have firsthand account. I'm not saying these people's faiths aren't legitimate. If they believe in it and they want to follow it, by of course, go right ahead. But to claim that they're like a direct successor of these lost faiths is, I mean, again, on a spiritual level, what I say doesn't matter. I'm not one of their practitioners and I'm not one of the people who believes it. So my opinion doesn't really matter. But on a practical, historical level, we just don't know. We just don't know. 90% of Norse myth is lost. We have one guy's writing, and he was already crazy. Yeah. That's the what is it? That's the Icelandic sagas, right? The ones that we have there, because like He's the one who wrote most of what we know about Ragnarok and some of the other things, and all of it's been heavily Christianized once you actually delve into what what other sources we have for those myths elsewhere, even if they're fragmentary. And the only like pure Norse stuff we have is whatever's written on the rune stones and what's not that we occasionally find scattered about Nordic areas and in burial sites. And that's shockingly rare, unfortunately. Can we talk to these? Nope, they're just... Alright. That...
Ready, Watcher.
What have we got here?
You can trust me.
It's money. Look at the Satan character, and after Ragnarok, there's 3 mysterious gods. Yeah, I've read and seen some stuff on that.
I've got it. Finished.
Where the parallels and the comparisons of how Ragnarok ends and seems to feed into Christian theological literature. It gets a little on the nose towards the end there. It gets a little on the fucking nose. Or even just the way Loki has been redesigned into a satanic figure in a lot of cases, even though, like many gods of mischief slash, I don't know what other word to use for it, mischief and like chaos, that wasn't really the case in pagan societies. Not saying the pagan societies didn't have their occasional Satan figure. The Egyptians had, I believe it was Set, or whatever, the god of the deep desert and crocodiles, who basically tried to overthrow the pantheon multiple times. Like, it's not saying the pagan societies didn't have their occasional satanic style figure. It's just that they didn't always translate one-to-one in how modern Christians and Christianized societies view it. All of the Anamfatha have called upon Ethicnol for war paint at some point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, these guys are starting to creep me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Essence within to nurture flesh and essence without to strengthen
the
it.
Anamfath must stand before the autumnal beast in judgment. The wise endure, passing on their strength. The weak are eaten, their souls ripped to pieces and lost for all time, removing such weakness from the cycle.
Some sort of hearth god or the like, but that's it. Yeah, I've seen overly sarcastic production stuff on Loki. It was a good video over there, them. Very good video on them. A lot of their Norse stuff is really good. And that is just one assumption that he started as a hearth god. As far as we know, we might not even have the full story there, unfortunately. We're not sure. There's a lot of just big question marks in regards to some of these histories that we will probably never know unless we get really lucky. I mean, the only reason we know so much about certain portions of ancient Greece and Rome and whatnot is thanks to the translations on the Rosetta Stone, and that was found by just pure accident. Or the uncovering of things like the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like, sometimes we just get lucky and sometimes we just don't find jack shit.
Well, I guess maybe my tribe wasn't entirely wrong about my spirit form being some sort of soul terror. I suppose I was hoping to hear a different answer on the matter, but...
And still people try to paint Hades as a devil analog. Oh, that one's always hilarious because Hades is, as far as the Greek gods go, Hades is a goddamn saint. Jesus, go read up on Zeus, Poseidon, Apollo. Dear God, even Artemis with her, shall we say, short temper. Hades is a goddamn saint by comparison, and the rest of them. The only other one who didn't really do anything bad was Hephaestus, and that's because he got crippled right out of the gate and couldn't really do anything. And he's mainly just annoyed by the fact that the woman he has as a wife is Aphrodite. God the Son, he must be a standing guy. Ignore all the lovers that seem to end up in horribly tragic fates because of him. It's got nothing to do with the sexuality involved. It's got everything to do with the fact that the Greek gods could be absolutely horrible. Yes, Zeus is a meme. Zeus is just a straight up meme. Hold on. Scroll back up. Each generation, the Anamfatha must stand before the autumnal beast in judgment. The wise endure, passing on their strength. The weak are eaten, their souls ripped to pieces and lost, removing such weakness from the cycle. My tribe wasn't entirely wrong about the spirit form being some sort of soul terror. I suppose I was hoping to hear a different answer on the matter, but... Maybe said no. I'm not sure what to give him for this one. Because I know he's thought of that one. So we're going to double back on Whale because I feel like pushing him in one direction or the other is not the best choice. I think him being a balance between being aligned with Galloway and being aligned with Whale is probably the best choice to maintain Haravius as we know him and not lose him to either the, quite frankly, the insanity that Whale seems to encourage in its followers or the mindless savagery that can be encouraged in Galloway's followers. A truth is revealed to you and you whine about your distaste for the answer. Whale would be ashamed of you, my friend. Haravius blinks at you several times. For 2 things. First off, don't lecture me on Whale. Secondly, you're absolutely right. His hands tug at his tunic and he straightens his posture. I should be excited by the act of learning, not faltering in my own expectations. Whale would not want that. He lets out a long sigh and relaxes. For years, I've been telling myself my tribe judged me unfairly, but I guess they weren't completely wrong. Enough pontification for the moment, he says, patting down a cowlick of hair. I need to know more. We need to find the rest of those tablets. ADHD mind is bad. Push him in one direction. Flash cut to Haravius and a boy band. Haravius would be down for being the bard if he had the chance. God, this place is big. Ooh. Oh.
Slowly now.
Hello. Let's see if we can disarm these. Thank you. Blood Testament. Only usable by monk. Plus 2% raw damage per wound. A monk from the Abbey of the Cloven Wheel mastered suffering by taxing her body to the limits every day. Such was her discipline that her sensitivity to pain and her ability to redirect it reached heights previously unknown in her order. Following her death in battle, the followers of the Abbey gave her bloodied hand bandages a place of honor in their great hall. An unknown thief stole the bandages along with several other relics in 2802. Since then, the wrappings have circulated among various monks of different orders. And flask of war paint. Yep. Biting the essence of sacrificed lives into a potent brew of blood and magic, war paint crafted by the Ethic Null has empowered Glenfathan warriors to perform great feats of strength and dexterity for hundreds of years. Grab that real fast. And these are Gauntlets of Swift Action, which I believe we've already given people that anyways, so... Do you already have better gloves? We'll find out the next time I bring Zarwa into the... The fuck did I get this from? Oh, did we get that as a quest reward? 10% of incoming crits converted to hits. Exceptional. Oh, so that was Shimok. Okay, okay. Is that better than... It's the same, but it has the safeguarding effect, which reduces crits to hits. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take that. Swap that over there. I mean, I don't see where else it could have come from, so... I don't think anybody else needs the swiftness gloves. Melee damage bonus plus whispers of treason. No, 15% is still... I mean, it's nice, but I think we're good right now. More supplicants. Anybody over here?
And
no?
what does the flame reveal?
This place is big. No, nothing here. Oh, hello. Nobody here? I'll take the bunny. Oh, this leads back up to the front entrance. Okay. Do you think this cave is natural? I mean, like most caves that are inhabited by people, it starts natural, and given the fact that these guys have been here for at least 2,000 years, I suppose they've had plenty of time to slowly expand it as things have gone on. Keep her word up. Oh, this was the person we were supposed to talk to about killing the infant. Like just with magic. Can they carve stone? I would imagine they would have the ability to. Failing that, knowing the Glenfathans, it wouldn't be very hard for them to again, 2,000 years is a long time. That's plenty of time to slowly carve this place out.
blessings, traveler.
The elderly dwarf blinks at you, not quite looking. Her eyes are pale and clouded with cataracts. Welcome to the Blood Sands. It is rare for an Estremor to set foot in these caverns. Her sightless eyes fix upon you as she tilts her head. What brings you here, I wonder? What do you do here? I sell and maintain certain goods for the preservation of our order, and I perform some of our ritual sacrifices. Anything else? How do these sacrifices work? Like any worthwhile ritual, it is too complex to explain in detail to an outsider, but it involves clotting the supplicant's essence, binding it to their lifeblood, and then drawing it out into a container or vessel. Tell me about the Blood Sands. I'll do that once we're out of the conversation, Tenman. This is the raw, bloody heart of Eir Glanfath, where some come to give their essence back to their people. Her dry lips bend into a sardonic grin. Others seek a noble escape from their trials. The legacy of the builders to the tribes was not merely of Adra and stone, but a sense of community. It is here that Glenfathans come to sacrifice what is most precious, even up to their own lives, to preserve it. What do you have for sale? War paint, which is expensive. That is really expensive for something that only works for 20 seconds. Jesus. All right, was there... No, there was no other questions for her. Head this way. Oh, right, quest items, you said. Yup. This is the child of Widwin, a Glenfath and Animfath. Although unusually calm and quiet for a baby, this healthy infant has managed to avoid the effects of Widwin's legacy. Yep, so hopefully we find out somebody to hand that off to at some point. What's over here? Youthful spirits, golden dukes, opals. The bravest sons and daughters fall not by the swords of the Estremorn, but by the daggers of their brethren.
Is not the water sacrificed unto the plant, and the plant sacrificed unto livestock, and livestock unto man? When the lesser soul is sacrificed to strengthen the greater soul, the whole of our family grows stronger. I suppose I get the argument. We all have to kill and eat, constantly for that matter, to live. This sounds like it's talking about the Blood Sands rituals. I wonder how, or even if, this is relevant to me.
Hey, Tree Bosher, welcome. Welcome, welcome. You haven't missed too much. It's going to, as even the title of the stream suggests, I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of talking in this one, because we're slowly working our way through all the side content in Eir Glenfath, and helping Haravius deal with his druid issue. Have you considered that the Autumn Stalgar may have been sacrificed to you? That you were the stronger soul, and that it was Galawain making you stronger? His good ear stiffens for a moment while his mangled ear twitches and shakes. I suppose that hadn't occurred to me, but I did win the fight. If Galawain were truly displeased with me, I can't imagine I'd have walked away from such a trial alive. He bites his lip and falls silent for a moment. So the other tablets spoke of the Stalgar judging and reuniting, and that other one spoke of combining souls that split over the ages. I guess I'm supposed to use my power to sacrifice others, or be sacrificed? Not sure I like the sound of either. Are you rethinking your opinion of Galawain's gift to you? Her obvious face squirms and rocks his head side to side. Well, yes and no. His fists ball up and he releases a long sigh. This puts a lot of things into perspective, really. If you take a step back, Galawain must be having a great laugh over how slow a study I am to learn his lessons. What do you think of the companions in this game? I love them. Pretty much all of them have been great. Sagani and Adair being down to earth. We have Pelagina with her very unique take being from the Valiant Republics. Durance and Grieving Mother are just amazing. I hate them as people. I love them as characters. Haravius has been great. I love the fact that Haravius is our comic relief sort of character, but he does it very, very well. Who am I forgetting? Zawa's interesting, and I want to see where else his quest goes in the DLC and whatnot. Really, the only lackluster one so far has been Manawa, the Almauen Berserker. Oh, and Kana. God, I've had him out of my party for too long that I almost forgot about him. I just love the fact that Kana's so positive. If I could, I'd have Haravius and Kana more in the party together, but honestly, Kana, I don't know if I'm just not good with the Chanter's playstyle, but every time I bring him into the in, I always forget to use his abilities, and I always end up basically forgetting that he's there. Story-wise, he's great, though, and I love his voice actor. I I doubt any of this knowledge will change the opinions of my home tribe, and having met some of the other druidic practices out there, honestly, I think I'd rather remain a drifter. So then what now? Adding it all up. I want to go to the Burial Isle. The name was mentioned in the tablet several times. It's implied there may be another Autumn Stalgar there. I did not want to hear verification that the Autumn Stalgar was such a terrible monster, but I am thankful to Whale for bringing me to the tablets. The truth is valuable, even when it's painful. Are you hoping for a rematch with the Autumn Stalgar? Haha, not exactly. I'm older, wiser, and stronger than when we last tussled, but I can't really afford to lose any more ears or eyes. I'm fresh out of redundant organs. Kana is a common name in Japan and is your wife's name, so it's bizarre seeing the name over a man with a giant deep voice. Yeah, I can see that. I think they were going for more of a Polynesian sense with the naming scheme for the Amawa. It wouldn't surprise me. But I could see how that could still get turned around in other cultures. Ooh, okay, yeah. Oh, there's the Archdruid. What's over here? Ooh, garnets and money. Oh, we're getting a cutscene. He's about to kill that person.
Your blood flows, so shall your essence. Your life's energy shall feed the soil, and your soul's energy shall enrich the community. This is by your own choosing, supplicant?
A dwarven man stands upon a raised platform. Beneath him, an elf lies prone on a stone table. As you get closer, you can hear the dwarf speak in a gravelly monotone. Yes. The elf's voice is high, but even. The dwarf grips a large hatchet with both hands, raising it over his head. He throws his shoulders forward and swings the weapon down into the elf's chest, connecting with a meaty thump. Blood gushes around the blade, and the sacrifice screams rend the air. Aravis's hand clutches his chest as his eyes widen in amazement. I did say I wanted to see the teachings of other druids, but I think I was imagining more dried herbs and chanting. We never did that in my circle back home, not ever. Despite his earlier agreement, the elf begins to thrash atop the stone table, his torso arcing while his arms and legs remain tied in place. Meanwhile, the dwarf spreads his arms wide and allows blood to splatter upon his robes. When the elf is finally silent and still, the dwarf pulls his hatchet from the body and wipes it off on his hem. Couldn't go for the neck or throat. You forget, though, that before the invention of things like the guillotine, you actually needed 1, an incredibly strong person, 2, an incredibly sharp axe or sword, and 3, a properly positioned prisoner in order to achieve the, shall we say, classical off with his head moment. Most other accounts of executions in this style, it took anywhere between 2 and 4 swings of the axe to fully separate the head from the neck. And the person would still have been alive for most of that as well. So the options still were not good. The real question is, how do you not have a spell that does this faster and more efficiently, given that these guys are all druids? Sure, but still it would be a tiny bit faster than going straight for the chest, you know, the most well-protected part of the human body. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I'm just saying human beings, we can trip and fall and die, or we can end up surviving some of the most horrific things possible. Mother Nature is weird like that. When the elf finally falls silent and still, the dwarf pulls his hatchet from the body and wipes it on the hem of his robes. The real question I have is, given that we know that soul energy can be used, animancy is an entire form of subject of magical study in this world, plus ciphers exist, this still seems woefully inefficient. So many people have survived a shot to the head without even noticing. Yeah, shot to the head, the arm, the chest even in some cases. But I feel like I get what they're doing because we can see it in the, where is it? The blood stuff. They're literally binding the person's soul to the blood, then draining the blood out to use as a magical reagent. That at least makes sense. Like, you can see the vats of blood over here. They've obviously done that for this reason. But it seems like, 1, you waste a lot by doing this. 2, well, you waste a lot from everything else. I mean, look at the area around here. That is a lot of wasted fucking blood if this is supposed to be something that they're wanting to do. And 3, there's no like, I can see how this would work for a alchemical potion or something like that. I don't see how this works as far as I don't know, blessing the land or blessing your fellows for anything more than the briefest of temporary bonuses. Like, it's a vibe, man. You got to do the aesthetic. I mean, to be fair, this is the first time we've really seen this with the Glenfathans. They're usually not like this, and they even acknowledge that this is not something they like outsiders being able to see. The streaks of red-brown blood and globs of tissue have worked themselves into the minute grooves of the stone. I don't know. It just feels like, again, my personal theory that the Glenfathans were enslaved by the Ingwithans, and this is part of the remnant of the Ingwithans' control over them, and utilizing their blood and souls for their own ends, seems to fit. And the lava pit wasn't? I mean... the dwarf wears crimson robes that are stained and streaked with dark patches. The face is smooth, but lacking any youthful elasticity. It's as if the lines and wrinkles have been formed and erased many times over. He watches you with the eyes like two black pits as he wipes his hatchet off on his robes. Hail, Estromor.
No one comes to Blood Sands without a purpose. What is yours?
His voice is deep and rough-edged. It echoes like a river in an ancient cave. Who are you?
I am the Archdruid of the Ethic Null. For centuries it has been my duty to guide our rituals and guard our knowledge. It is work that requires a certain resilience, but it is not without its benefits.
His black eyes glitter in the dark. Reston's eerily smooth face is motionless as he watches you. You murdered a man. Was that part of your ritual? He lowers his head. Your simplistic morals do not apply here, Estromor. Murder does not enter into it.
It was a sacrifice, and one willingly entered into. The survival of all things depends on balance. Give and take.
The smooth skin at the corners of his mouth and eyes wrinkle for one brief instant. This principle lies at the heart of our power. Expending something of value releases energy. Energy that can be channeled by those who know how. He tilts his head towards you. All kith, whether or not they care to admit it, practice this. We take the yield of the land and the flesh of beasts to live, and we give our blood and sweat to propagate the things we desire. No, like, philosophically he's correct, and in this universe he does have a point with the way soul energy works. It's just that, quite frankly, all of this looks horribly inefficient. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's my inner Imperial fan from Warhammer 40k speaking of it. It's like, if you're going to be dark and evil and mysterious, could you at least be competent? I've seen enough incompetent evil villains. Can we please get some competency in here, please? At least make it so that the person I'm having to fight for the sake of the world is not an idiot. Like, say what you will about Theos, the man is extremely competent. He saw that I was eventually going to turn the Deerwood against him, and he managed to completely upend all of our plans from the first 2 acts with a single murder. That sounds brutal. He gives you a reproachful look. Croak, the world is brutal. Nothing is gained by closing one's eyes against it. Recognize these realities, that they might better serve you. I invite you to explore our halls and speak with our supplicants. One can learn much by observing the sacrifices others are willing to make for a greater purpose. Perhaps you will even consider making a sacrifice of your own. He opens one hand towards you. The creases and nails are darkened and browned. Not all of our sacrifices are written in blood, but the most powerful are. Theos is oddly not that popular villain, people thinking he's forgettable. I'm not sure where I stand. I mean, it's a hard one, and I want to see more of him before I make a firm judgment on the issue, because I would almost argue that he wants to be forgotten. His modus operandi is to function across centuries to ensure that no one is fully aware of his plans or sure of what he's doing with them. In some ways, he wants to be forgettable. And it is because your character is remembering the memories of someone who he wasn't forgettable to that is the entire crux of the problem as far as the main character is concerned. At least how Theos views the main character. What can you tell me of the Ethic Null? We are a druidic order that has been in Twin Elms since the Ingwithan times. Our founders came from the White March, seeking a place where we might practice our beliefs in peace, as it were. Unlike most of our Glenfathan brethren, we seek answers to this world around us rather than in the teachings of the gods. We believe that all life has power, that this power can be siphoned and conducted. We are not, as some suggest, madmen or murderers. All of our rituals are conducted with willing participants and through methods that have been tested and refined over centuries. He nods, his black eyes still shining. This allows us to create the war paint for which we are respected, if not loved. See, that's the thing. They're essentially animancers. They're a religious sect of animancers, is basically what they are. Well, if they came from the White March, I wonder if they came before or after the Dwarves. From the sound of it, they came way before, because Durgan's Battery was in like the last 400 or 500 years, whereas this is 2,000 plus years old. At least going by their accounts of the Ingwithans, at least. Tell me more about your sacrifices. A guttural laugh rumbles from his throat. We merely believe that in giving up something of value, the energy from that sacrifice can be diverted elsewhere. It is not so different from what folk practice all over the world. If you want to turn the soil, sail a ship, move a cart, you must expend energy. He smooths his robes, but we are best known for our practice of kith sacrifice. It is the most potent form of sacrifice because it releases the most energy. We distill the essence of a soul into raw power to strengthen the body, fortify the soul, and extend life. Yeah, they're natural they're religious animancers, and they can essentially mimic what ciphers do naturally through that process, because ciphers have multiple buff and debuff abilities based on either linking themselves to their allies to create a buff or linking themselves to their enemies to create a debuff and siphoning off their strength. It's literally copying cipher abilities that occur naturally, but in a more religious and philosophical or psychological, almost religious order. What war paint? Special unguent, binding the raw essence of the sacrificial to the wearer. It grants incredible advantages in combat and has made us indispensable to the rest of the tribes. Whatever they may say of our practices, nearly all of them have made use of our war paint at one time or another. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fascinating indeed, how the most strident objections can be overcome by circumstance. How are you different from the Ovates of the Golden Grove? A dry laugh rasps from his throat. Golden Grove. I remember when Arona came up with that name. He gives you a dark, gleeful look. Used to be as green as the rest of the forest, you know. We're more similar than they'd like to admit. We both believe in achieving power without the double-edged aid of the gods. But their fantasy is pure creation. Something from nothing. They bind themselves to the fact that all life, from the mightiest dragon to the slimmest blade of grass, requires death, and the greatest end require the greatest sacrifice. Some sacrifices, if taken from others, are simply too costly. Many agree with you, and many float from one life to the next, living out a finite stock of years and accomplishing nothing. I do believe that is everything here. Yep. Blood sacrifice, fire sacrifice. Interesting. Is there somebody over here I forgot to talk to? No? Oh. The heat emanating from this pool threatens to singe the flesh of your face. Yeah. Wonder if we can talk to that lady again, because it felt like she had more to say. Keep Durance away from the pit. Knowing Durance, he'd do something stupid like try to shove Haravius into it, and that's the last thing we need. Okay, I guess she didn't have anything else. Never mind then. Alright, let's leave. Honestly, I'm surprised Durance didn't speak up during those conversations. It seems like him and the Ethic Knoll would get along great. Okay, Tyr Evron is still open to us, but we still have an entire other district we need to check out. Oh. There we go. Time for the tower. As I said, there's a whole other district we haven't done. Think you want to do Tyr Evron first? Okay, I'll take your word for it, Tenwin. Or are you just tired of having to do, are you just afraid that we'll have another 2 hours of nothing but conversation to do if we keep going the way we're going? Yeah, we'll keep that. Ooh. Is that an entire floor made of Adra? Certainly looks like it. The other districts and areas and all. Ah, okay. Ooh. Luminescent Adra Shard. Crisp flashes of light run through this Adra Shard, pulsing in its faceted core like veins of light fueled by a heart of fire. Shattered and charred stone blocks the passage into sun and shadow. Ooh. Ooh, new books. Oh no, we've already seen this one. Yeah, that's the Saint Wydwin one. Yep. Okay, so we've seen that. What's this? Gift Brewer Eden, we've seen that one. And the Enigmatic God of Cold. Have we read this one? Yeah, we've seen this one. Alright, thanks for the books. Final Journal of Jonas. That's the effigy one. We've seen that. Missives of the Hand Occult. We've seen that one too. And the Many Faces of Bareth. We've seen that one. Yep. Book of the Hunt. That's Galawain. Daily Affirmations of Focus and Affinity. That's Abaddon. The Sermon of Struggle. This is Magrin. So this is literally just all of the different gods. Yeah, Hyleia. The Queen that was and still is. Oh, this is just literally all the gods. This is just all the gods. Oh, we need to brush up on our god lore, don't we? Because we're supposed to be getting ready to entreat them. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Woedica, goddess, the overthrown goddess of laws and oaths. Hyleia is the god of midwives, the god of the new life, the god of birds. Okay. I'm sure, but I'm gonna need to give myself a refresher. There's life and death and life. Benwin I Enku, Enku I Benwin, Buin. Okay, okay. The many names and many faces of the god of death. Rimmergand is entropy, more so than death. Yeah, the manifestation of collapse, famine, plague, bad luck. Primal god, silent and inscrutable. I have a feeling this is going to also correspond to my character's reputations. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's still pretty close. I have a feeling your reputation determines which gods are going to come listening. Galawain, Abaddon, and that is Magrin with Struggle. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and make a hard save here. Oh.
A brothel for the ages.
Now is really not the time, Durance. Oh. Interesting. So we can talk, or we have access to all but Woedica and Whale, interestingly enough. Interesting. Nothing happens when you approach Woedica's shrine. Oh. A piercing ring fills your ears as you near Whale's shrine. There's no other response. Oh. So then... 1, 2, 3, 4? So we can't touch any of the crystals, so 4 of these seem to be... Okay, let's start over here. Before this shrine sits the constellation of a snarling hound with fangs bared. Okay, hold on, I want to see. This shrine sits before a bright constellation, its stars forming the oval shape of an egg, a pair of wings sprouting from the egg. So we have Galawain, we have Hyleia. In the glittering stars of the nearby constellation, you see the grim shape of a skull, its jaws open wide, frozen in a silent scream. That's Bareth. And then this... In the nearby constellation, you make out the shape of a strange horned beast. From time to time, you think you sense a faint chill emanating from the shrine, and that's Rimmergand. Interesting. So we have Galawain, Hyleia, surprised Magrin isn't involved. I'm not going to pray to Mommy Dearest first. I mean, I think that might be the smartest one. She is the most notable for being compassionate towards mortals, so her and Andra, the goddess of the waves. Yeah, we should probably start with Hyleia. I mean, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? They've already... The beginning of life, the struggle with life. Oh, Bareth. Oh, okay, I suppose you're right. I forget that Bareth also doesn't have a gender in most cases. I forgot about that from theirs. That would be the safe choice as well, given that I'm a death godlike. It's just interesting that we have access to Rimmergand. What does he have to do with all of this? We've barely encountered him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, quick save real fast. Pray to Bareth. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. No. So his is... There is life and death in life. There is a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence and of its eye upon you. You kneel and pray to Bareth. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on into forever. The stars wheel overhead. Very funny, Deadwood, very funny. Stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise again on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another sheer canyon walls. For just an instant you see waves lapping at the edge of the road. Were you to step into that shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet, and the night air cool upon your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. The two faces of Kirono, what we call Bareth. Pelagina shudders slightly, her feathers ruffling as she peers at the figures with apprehension. You remember the door to Cleoban Rilag, and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male, the other vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It is a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look upon it, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the tombstone sculptures are swept towards the mouth, inviting you in. Enter. The road continues through the maw to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Approach the dwarven man. As you continue down the road towards him, he looks up at you as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth, but flaccid, as if the flesh has slightly detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face continues to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. His jowls sag, and the loose flesh begins to hang like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself, from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the flesh wrinkles disappear, the hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, two black eyes, like hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouths of a skull. Make your sacrifice to the Ethik Null. His body blocks the path, and he extends a bloody hand towards you. Take his hand. You grab his hand, but his skin gives too easily under their grip. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like a dried canvas tearing. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at the arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you cannot even imagine there was anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleaming like 1,000 souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead, may you continue onward. The blood pools around your feet, and you look up and see the elven woman awaiting further down the road. You start towards her, and there's something unnatural about the way she stands, too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots digging into the earth. She shifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the color of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely, you realize that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines, sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in place of the old. She reaches towards you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. Take her hand. Her roots twine around your fingers, and as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as a rough stone bark overtakes her flesh, she can only look on in horror. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck, and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. And now that she is still and lifeless, you continue past her. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. A voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You lift your gaze and see the skull gate ahead of your path. The candles of Tyr Evron wink through the open mouth. Okay, so Bareth wants me to kill the leaders of the druidic orders here. Given that both of those orders don't want to draw power from the gods, I can kind of see why they might be pissed at them. Alright, let's see what happens with Hyleia. You step before the shrine and prepare to recite the words. It's this one, I believe. Live every note of life's song. The words seem to ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lifting by some unseen art. You shut your eyes to pray, and as you wait in darkness, the world around you changes. You feel sunlight, bright and warm on your face. A light breeze carries music to your ears. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think because he did mention that he's alive for centuries, which the dwarves are a long-lived race in this universe, but not that long-lived, which tells me he's been doing some funky shit with some of his ritual sacrifice abilities. As vivid as the sensations feel, you somehow know they are not real. You look around and find yourself standing in an open-air temple built on a mountain summit, filled with elves, orlins, and assorted other kith. Ringing the entire scene is a fringe of trees that verdant branches filled with birds of every color, shape, and size. Yeah, so 110 to 190, and he said centuries, which in minimum implies 2, possibly 3. Pelagina takes it all in with squinting eyes and a wry smile. I am supposed to feel at home here? Really? Everyone is singularly absorbed in their particular pursuit. An Orlin sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand and jars of green, blue, and yellow pigments at his feet. An elf and an Amawa, standing to the side, are locked in conversation, their expressions dancing with delight. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry or crude sketches on sheets of paper, losing themselves in the delicate minutiae of lines and syllables. You feel the breeze again, and the 2 elves basking in the sunlight shiver. Actually, Pelagina, I would say that. The whole thing with Hyleia seems to be to embrace one's passion and embrace what gives one joy in life. It's just that for you, it's fighting for and serving the dukes of the Valian republics. It's a selfless sacrifice, but it is still a sacrifice of a sort. And it is still one that you embrace with all of your being. You've made that abundantly clear in most of your conversations. It's true, it doesn't take the traditional appearance of how most of Hyleia's followers are, but I think it still says something that you followed such a passionate path, even as someone of a Hyleia godlike, who doesn't want to be involved in Hyleia's traditional pursuits. The largest group gathers in the middle of the temple, singing a lush, chaotic harmony composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift towards the singer in ones and twos, buffeted by a gust of wind or a phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees. You think it's the wind, but the chirping changes to screeching. hundreds of birds take to the skies, all headed in one direction, away. Heravius emits a series of chirping bird calls to the flock as they scramble into the air. "This is bad," he mutters, his face turning sour. "Something has the birds spooked, but they won't tell me what. Then again, I might have mispronounced my bird song and probably called them all incontinent." The devotees glance at the trees, barely distracted from their activities, but the wind begins to pick up, scattering their pages of poetry and art, ripping the songs from their lips. They look skyward and they follow their gaze. A dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, it fills the sky, and the wind roars over the summit. Well, that explains the birds. Before you can flee, a shadow falls over the temple. It begins as a stain in the corner of the room and then spreads, blotting out the flagstones. It reaches the nearest kith, a black-furred Orlan, and the darkness swallows her, leaving only a puff of smoke in her place. The two elves you saw earlier, a man and a woman, try to flee. You are granted a brief image of them huddled in the shadow of a mountain. They seem to see you. They reach out, calling silently for you. Others, however, are frozen, and as the shadow advances, they likewise vanish one by one, the driving gale scattering their ashes and the charred remains of their creations. You look up upon the source of the shadow, but the eclipsed sun forms a blinding corona around the thing. You cannot make out the details. You can, however, feel the heat. "Restore my temple." You look down and find yourself standing next to the Hylaea shrine in Tir Evron. Your pulse still races and your skin is damp with sweat from the strange encounter. Okay. So we need to find Hylaea's temple and see it restored. Survival begins with strength from within. The air around you stirs and a gust of warm wind blows across the back of your neck. You catch the faintest smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you are pushed forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in the clearing in the middle of the woods, the smell of dirt hanging heavy in the air. Behind you is a darkened room filled with candlelit shrines. Ahead, you hear the howl of some kind of hound. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck still rise.
The scent of sweat, fur, loam, leaves, the discordant howls. I believe Galawain's herald approaches.
Heravius breathes in deeply, his eyes closed, his head dipped back as he smells the air. When he opens his eyes, a smile settles upon his face, his voice becoming equal parts excitement and dread. Howl back. The beast bays in response, its voice high and clear. The thick undergrowth shivers with movement, heavy paws pounding upon wet grass. You're not certain if the creature is hunting or leading you, but you instinctively give chase. As you tumble through the dew-speckled bushes and clawing brambles, each stride feels longer than the last. You draw lungfuls of crisp, clear air. You feel the energy of your body renewed. The rhythm of your stride, the thumping of the beast's paw drive the blood thrumming in your ears. You speed ahead, following the hound's cries. When a split-finger pine crashes to the ground in front of you, a massive bear lunges into the gap and roars. It catches sight of you. You turn and race in the opposite direction, leaping over the fallen tree trunk, pine cones crunching underfoot, the bear lumbering after you. Death God-like with their faces and expression, do you think they develop excessive body language so they can't rely? It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all, given that they can't rely. Given that the mask is a double-edged sword. Sure, people can't see most of your reaction, but it also means people can't see your emotions in a positive sense either. I imagine the Death God-like they probably go in two directions. They either become excessively formal and excessively rigid to not betray any emotion, or they become overly expressive with the rest of their bodies. Yeah, theater kids. Honestly, not that far off. They either become sociopaths or theater kids. Its hot breath washes over the back of your neck, filling your nose with the rank odor of slaughter. You see a clearing just past a thicket of broadleaves and sprint towards it. As you break through the foliage, you see a massive lioness curled up in the clearing in front of you. The last burst of energy, you divert your momentum, hurling yourself into the bushes. Any second now, you expect to feel the bear fall upon you, but a furious roar on the other side of the clearing draws your attention. The bear has stopped at the tree line, swiping the empty air with claws large enough to rend armor, but it does not advance. The lioness, for her part, twists her body into a tight coil. She growls, ears pressed against her head, but she makes no move to attack the intruder. Pelagina elbows you. What are you waiting for? When you're the quarry, you take any opportunity to escape that you can. You back deeper into the foliage, keeping your eyes on the two mighty predators. As you crawl backwards, the heel of your hand brushes something furred. A warm sigh grazes your cheek. You freeze in place, slowly turning your head to see what awaits you, and 2 amber eyes shine in the darkness.
Holy Hound himself! It's not just his herald, it's the Lord of the Hunt! Here!
Heravius yelps in bewilderment before dropping to one knee as his hands dart about his pockets and snatch the rusted hound's head icon buried within. The eyes of the god meet your gaze briefly, then turn to the standoff in the clearing. The hound behind you yawns, fangs flashing. When you turn back, the lion and the bear have disappeared. In their place is a stone wolf's maw gaping wide enough to swallow you whole, and beyond that, the outline of a temple towering but indistinct. Blood must feed the maw, Watcher. See that a true champion reigns. Yeah, Heravius' delivery there was pretty good. And lastly, we have the god who we really haven't seen any sign of at all yet. I'm honestly surprised because I thought Ondra was the other godlike, because Bareth was death godlike, Galawain was nature godlike. Well, I suppose that's true. We didn't see Makron's not optional either, despite fire godlike being one of their choices. So it's strange that we get Rimmergand. Ondra's the moon godlike. Yeah. It's just weird to me that we're... I don't know. I would have expected the 4 related gods to the 4 godlike types would show up. Instead, we're getting Hyleia and Rimmergand instead of Ondra and Magron. What is his? All life ends in stillness. You feel a gust of cold air, as if the shrine burst into wintry life, the frigid winds cutting through you like a sharpened blade, and darkness encroaching upon the edge of sight. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, the blackness fades to white, a howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself is of a broad, frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. I know this place. This is the White that wends. As they trek past you, one man bundled in furs turns his head. You're headed for Noonfrost, and the Frost-hewn breach too. Before you can answer, he's lumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a few minutes you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into the pale emptiness overhead, and stretches as far as the eye can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mere smooth section that is framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but a debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin packs and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in swift, shining arcs. Although they throw their bodies into the labor, not one of them so much as scratches the polished ice, yet with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Whatever that is, it's huge. And angry. Sagani squints into the whiteout. It's coming our way. Adir calls out to the elves. Hey, you might want to hold off on that. But that howling wind seems to swallow his voice. Pelagina's head whips around to see where the belling is coming from. Forget about the elves. We need to be ready to move. She turns again to face you, flexing her hands in the cold air. Or fight. The elves continue to hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious allowing and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees. Your legs feel frozen in the drifts. Given what we know about Rimmergand, action is not what he wants. You watch as the elves continue to work at the ice. They pay no heed to the rumbling roar of the numbing wind. Their movements, however, over time, slow. The labor at the ice with arduously sluggish movements until finally, one by one, they freeze in place. Some mid-swing, others preparing for the next blow. You touch the elf nearest to you, and he crumbles into a mound of snow. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It is the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever is on the other side of that strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the parallel gashes trailing behind your leg to the snow, do you realize how strong its pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach, and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Rimmergand.
A deep whisper carries from the crack, As quiet as it is, it shakes the ground beneath your feet. Seal the Frosthewn breach and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Rimmergand. Yeah, that is very interesting. Rimmergand is supposed to be like the least talkative of the gods, and yet he's the only one who's talked here. Plug the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly, and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision fades around you, but the unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. What the hell? Why is Rimmergand the one god who gave us a straightforward fucking request? Rimmergand gave you this jagged ice crystal when you prayed to him at Ter Evron. It's supposed to control the frost-hewn breach in Noonfrost. The shard glows with cold blue light. It hasn't melted at all since you received it. Find Noonfrost in Twin Elms. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all of them. Piercing well from whale, and nothing happens when you approach Wodoka Shrine. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be bad. Can you guys... Hold on.
What do you wish to know? Until...
Nope. They don't have anything despite us going over that. I suppose the first thing we should ask is about these druids, and it seems the gods are very fucking upset with you guys, and I am not sure why, or at least Bareth is. Oh, you're not the leader. Right, the leader isn't here, is she?
Estramor.
Yeah, Erona. That was the one. But Erona isn't here, if I recall correctly. Whereas the Archdruid is in the Blood Sands, but we'll talk to him in a bit. Okay, so, hold on. Yeah, earn the Divine Favor. Court of Penitence. Yep. Yeah, find the Noonfrost. Find Rimmergund's Palace of Worship in Twin Elms. Yep. The Stone Maw in Galawain's Vision. Hylea's Temple. My touch slew them, and only then was I able to continue along the path. Have cheated death for too long, ending their lives would please Bareth. Often journeys to Elmshore in search of remedies to prolong her life. I suspect that Erona is the elven woman from the dream, and an eerily ageless face seemed to renew himself with the blood of others. He said something about the epic null. Yeah, we already know that. The elven woman was strangely tree-like in the vision. She mentioned a place called the Golden Grove. Okay. Yeah, so the Elmshore's back here. And the only place we haven't been is Old Song. Which, given that the marker on the map has a wolf's head, makes me believe that that is going to be Galawain's.
Ever tried vulture?
We don't have those in Nazitok.
Your loss. They can eat anything, so their stomach juices are sour and tangy, like ripe fruit.
My loss indeed.
I feel like Haravius is actively trying to see what would cause Sagani to be annoyed at him. He's not quite poking the bear, so to speak, but he's getting there. Stone is pitted with the marks of ancient chisels and furred with moss. Oh, wow, that's big. Damn, that's big. Okay.
We can't stay down here. Someone must go to the nest eventually.
I have a feeling this has to do with Hylea. Two wood elves, a man and a woman, wear colorful robes embroidered with a matching emblem, a winged egg. Apart from their clothing, they couldn't be more different. She folds her arms and continuously scowls at the broken walls around them. He, on the other hand, mutters prayers, his shade-dappled face as tranquil as the cloudless sky.
How are we supposed to worship the Sky Mother from among the weeds, This is a disgrace.
The woman rounds on her companion.
Calm yourself. We should be grateful that she protected us from the winged terror. Besides, even here we have a visitor.
What is this winged terror you speak of?
A dragon. One that has taken up residence in the nest, the true temple of Helia, and slain many of her faithful. And one which Anuin has been in favor of killing from the beginning.
But no, you advised caution. Now word spread that the dragon ate a few of our followers, and anyone willing to slay it wants an Anumfoth's ransom for the job.
I told you a larger party wouldn't stand a chance. By the time the first half reached the top of the mountain, the second half would still be stuck in the pass. They'd be burned alive. Contrary to Anuin's suggestion, I am in favor of sending someone to kill the dragon. But I suggest a smaller party, and one willing to seek Helia's blessing.
He gives you a curious look. Yeah, I can't imagine what this is going to involve. But I'd like to know more. This is supposed to be the temple to Hylia. Or Hylia, sorry.
You hear this, Wag?
She rolls her sky blue eyes and elbows her companion.
Relax, Anuin. I'm sure he meant nothing by it. Forgive my consort. She's been rather excitable of late. This is not, as you seem to recognize, our actual temple. It's merely a shrine we've set up after the business with Dragon.
I'd like to know more about Hylia. Hylia. God dang it. Now, see, in my brain, I've always been pronouncing it Hylia, and now I find out the pronunciation is Hylia.
Why, she's the goddess of song, art, the sky, and maternity. She's gentle and brilliant, speaking to her followers in dreams, inspiration, and birdsong. It is said that she wears a cloak adorned with a feather from every bird known to kith or wilder, and that she manifests in the flocks themselves.
What he just said, forgive my wife, I mean, I think he's trying to be a little more tactful than that, but yeah, that's pretty much what he said.
Aye, and in the screams of childbearing, which I can assure you is not so beauteous a thing.
This is true, which is why midwives are widely considered clergy of Helia, as are many artists and poets. In any case, those of us who follow her feel closest to her splendor in a place where we might share light, song, and a view of the blessed sky.
I was within the Twin Elms when I received a vision from Hylia. She bid me speak with you about the menace that has settled over her temple.
A vision from the goddess herself? What a rare and fortunate blessing.
Casfath looks at you with an undisguised wonder. Anuin squints at you. Your vision did reveal that the menace is a dragon, yes? She steps back and gives you a long look. To be honest, I expected the Sky Mother would summon a whole flock of warriors to fight this monster. So few will be like sparrows attacking an eagle. But if Hylia has tasked you, then who are we to doubt? Anuin is right, though. You must prepare yourself for a powerful and crafty foe. The nest and the dragon are perched atop a mountain beyond the Northwold. He points northward along the path. Follow the trail out into the wilderness, then look for a second path carved into the cliffs, and may the Sky Mother's blessing aid you. Well, now we know what that's going to do. Solid iron bars block a dark passage. They don't budge, and there don't appear to be any mechanism for raising them from the outside. That seems to be part of the Anguithan ruins, I would imagine, then. That is, yep, the pass to the north, and I almost forgot that we leveled up. And we don't even have enough points to increase mechanics. Guess we'll dump it into, well, no, because I have to hold... I'm really considering doing a redo of my character and just pumping everything into lore for all the dialogue options and giving mechanics to somebody else. Ooh, we've got level 7. Stasis Shield for 28 seconds. Cypher is able to isolate a single enemy from the world, leaving them unable to act, but also unable to be affected by outside parties. Dominate's probably better, but the fact that its Stasis Shield is its own special effect, it's not paralysis, it's not stun, it's not dominate, means it works on everything. And the other, oh, we get both of these, so that's nice. By siphoning power from enemy souls, the Cypher is able to slow them down and increase his or her own speed. Foe target plus 5 additional. Steal 50% of their attack speed for 17 seconds. Ooh, that's really fucking good. We're taking both. That is a debuff. That is a... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you cannot convince me the Anguithans didn't fucking enslave the Glanfathans at this point. Every time we come to an Anguithan ruin, we see people on literal racks getting tortured. I'm sorry, there's no way in hell you're going to convince me that's not the case at this point. Short of the game itself just like saying that I'm wrong, I don't see how that's possible.
The chill of Rimergon's oblivion. The mindless beast, easily brought to heel by the fire.
Chill covers over the frozen lake, draining the air of warmth. What is this one? What is this? I want to click on that one. Game, let me click on it. Okay, it's the same thing. So obviously, yep, that's Noon Frost, and that got Durance to level up. There. Ooh, spell mastery level 3. Ooh, 20% of hits converted to crits. That would be pretty good. Sure, Durance, not as if Rimergon's oblivion is inevitable. Yeah, no shit. That's a debuff, but has a fairly small area of effect, which is not that good. That's pretty good, but only lasts for about 14 seconds. Still, it is once per encounter, so it's not the worst. Knocking people prone for 14 seconds, though, that's also pretty fucking good. Warding seal, hazard AoE. No, we don't want to do that. 40 endurance when they drop below 20 is really not that much. So it's going to come down to... It's going to come down to Pillar of Faith, Dire Blessing, or Circle of Protection. He's quite good low... oh, yeah, immunity to hobbled stuck for 27 seconds. The stuck is the main thing. Stuck is the main thing, because there are several spells that seem to do stuck. Yeah. Able to act but unable to leave their current location. Dexterity is reduced by 2. Accuracy is reduced by 5. Reflex and deflection reduced by 20. It does have a decent area. But the thing is, it's per... Like, this is a spell mastery. I already have Prayer Against Restraint, and I already have 3rd level spells, so I think I've got plenty of those. I'd rather have something else that I could use constantly. The 20% of hits converted to crits could be good, and it lasts for 40 seconds, so that's pretty much the whole battle. The other is this one, just because it gives all defenses a bonus for 14 seconds. Because the rest of these don't really... Like, Pillar of Faith is okay, but again, I've got enough 3rd level spellcasts that if I really need to knock somebody prone for 14 seconds, I've got plenty of options. I'm thinking Dire Blessing and just doubling down on his ability to unleash buffs at the beginning of every battle. I'm thinking that's the good idea. 20% of hits converted to crits. It's got a decent radius, and it'll last pretty much the entire fight. He also got access to his next level of spells. The priest gains a supernatural glow as they are infused with power as a minor avatar of their deity, gaining a bonus to all attributes, endurance, health, and weapon damage. Holy shit. 20% melee damage, 20% brain damage, plus 8 to might, 8 to dexterity, 8 to constitution, 8 to perception, 40 max endurance, 8 resolve, and 8 intellect. Jesus. Resurrection. Revive the target with 147 endurance, prevent death for 27 seconds, and gives a plus 88 health friendly AoE. It's called Slap the Bit. Yeah, I imagine you could... I see why priests are still considered a great solo class, because once you... Not only do you get all those spells beforehand, but once you get up to this, you basically have a... yes, once per... You know, in any particular single encounter for the day, I can just go all out and utterly destroy things. They receive the effects of barring Death's Door, and nearby allies are healed, of course. And Storm of Holy Fire, which is AoE duration of 12 seconds. So that's pretty good. If the enemy has a lot of backline people, this would be great. But in actual combat, it's not going to be that useful because it's not a faux AoE. It's just a regular AoE. All right. So we know where that is now. Let's keep going. Nope, they're not quest givers of any kind. Oh. Apologies. Storm of Holy Fire is great if you have a front line. Yeah, no, it's a great... what's the word I'm looking for? It's a great choke point spell. Or if the enemy has to bring a whole bunch of ranged units and they have a... If the enemy has a particularly singular front line and they just have a whole bunch of people in the rear, I could also switch my guys to range, drop that spell on them because they're not going to be getting close, and then watch them all get burned to death.
Many blessings, traveler.
Salutations, Estremor, the Orland chirps in a sing-song voice. I am known as Delem, chanter of old song. I trust you are enjoying the beauty of this sacred place. Are you the resident entertainer? I sing to entertain Old Song's visitors, but alas, the crowds have thinned into little more than a trickle. The chill wind from Rimergon's temple drives most people away. Now I sing, but no one listens, and music is without purpose. But I know of a solution, a way for me to make my songs warm and passionate and counter Rimergon's incessant chill. The Orland smiles and reaches out in a grasping motion. All I need are a few rare songbirds. I would eat them and absorb their musical energy. With that kind of musical prowess in my soul, I could sing a song that would bring back the merry crowds. First of all, I don't think it works that way. Second of all, aren't songbirds specifically protected by Hylia? The Orlin glances at you dumbfounded before rolling his eyes and lecturing you. Eating the muscles of animal makes you stronger, right? And if you consume green stalks, do you not take on their pungent smell, even down to the water you pass? He smiles, pleased with his reasoning. Just as one cannot sweat if one is parched, I cannot sing without a nourished soul. It's all very basic. Did your parents teach you nothing of the food-dropping cycle? Spare me your reasonings. I'll help, I guess. Splendid, he exclaims with clapping hands. For my song to be pitch perfect, I will need a tiam, a bird often found throughout the Twin Elms, often in high tree nests, but some have been domesticated. I'll also need a shardwing. Shardwings prefer to nest in Adra formations. It suits their natural camouflage the best. Oh, and most importantly, if I plan on hitting those high notes, I'm going to need a cloud singer. The little warblers can only be found in the highest mountain peaks. But many thanks, Estremor. Bring me these birds and I'll sing like Hylia herself. Yeah, I can't help but feel that this man is particularly dumb, even by Glenfathan standards, because this does not sound like something the Glenfathans would actively encourage. At all. Yeah, easy solution. I was already thinking, talk to the priests of Hylia, because I can't imagine they're going to be very happy to hear about this. Well, nobody seems to care when I take this stuff. That leads back. Nobody else over here. More hunters, more flowers. Give me that. No, nothing there. Just more.
Just be glad we aren't going through the back door to this place.
Why would there be a... First of all, your innuendo is unappreciated, Haravius. And secondly, why would your people carve a back door in that fashion to something like this? Oh, no, we have to go up and around to get that. Any of you guys named? No, none of you guys are named. So that means there's most likely nothing there. Go back up this way. We'll finish our circle of the whole area, and then we'll figure out what we want to do. We'll grab those. Thank you. No, nobody named down here. You're named, though. What's up? An Orlin woman stares at the sky with a deep contemplation. She occasionally puffs from a wooden pipe, blowing smoke into perfect rings. What stands before me? She wipes her lips with the back of her hand. Her teeth are uneven and pointy, stained red. I do not see Estremorin often. She picks the remains of an ochre root stuck in her gums. And believe me, I see many things. Perhaps you want to see them too, yes? She gestures behind her an assortment of plants, roots, and files lying on the rug. Let me see what you have for sale. She's got a couple of scrolls. She's got some drugs. She's got some potions. And she has a lot of alchemical reagents. Okay. Nothing really that catches my eye, though. Alright, let's double back to the Hylian priests. I can't imagine that they're going to be very happy. See? Look at that shit. You cannot tell me that the fucking Ingwithans weren't horrible. Like, there's literally no evidence that they were anything other than horrible Imperial conquerors.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Firstly, I have a question about the dragon. Oh, I didn't realize we had all of this. Hold on, let me take a drink. There we go. We'll tell you as much as we can. He gives Onuin a stern look. Has this sort of thing happened before? Never. Our order would have started to resemble the Fangs a long time ago. Do you think that there's a reason it's happened now? She scowls. Let us be clear. You suggest that there was some misdeed in our midst, that we've committed a crime against our goddess or some other and received some sort of just punishment. Onuin, please. He lays a hand on her shoulder. She shakes his hand off. We do not know why these things happened, why our own mother goddess allowed scores of her followers to perish in flames. She narrows her eyes, speaking between clenched teeth. And if you ever discover why, I invite you to come back here and tell the rest of us. Okay. How did the dragon reach you up there? With a great beating of its wings and a fiery roar. Who knows why these beasts come and go? It's here and that's what matters. If you're asking why this has happened, only the gods know. I suspect it's a test of faith from Hylia herself, but who can say? Well said, Haravius interrupts them with a chuckle. These two have a little bit of whale in them. He breathes in deeply, smiling as if awash in the smell of baked good. Oh, it is a mystical playground controlled by unknowable deities. There is many other things to worry about than hows and whys of anything. Haravius, don't shove your own problems off onto other people. Please stop projecting. We are dealing with your quest while we're here as well. Calm down, my dude. When did the dragon first show up? He looks skyward, thinking, just a few weeks ago, the creature cloaked the sky like a thundercloud and descended upon us at once. There was no warning. What else can you tell me about the dragon? She opens her mouth, a crooked sneer on her face, then seems to think better of whatever she's about to say. After a pause, she says, nothing. We truly wish we could tell you more, but we, like the rest of Hylea's faithful, were running for our lives, and we were more fortunate than most. A chanter by the docks named Delem told me he could restore this district with his songs if he found some songbirds to eat. And if he told you that you could jump off Madmer Bridge and sprout wings, would you believe that too? It is foolish superstition and nothing more. The Queen of Birds blesses us with her attendance so that we can hear their songs, not eat their flesh. She raises an eyebrow at you. Or do people from the Dreadfire Archipelago eat their teachers? You're a rough bunch, or so I've heard. Oh, wow! Congratulations! You're the first actively racist in Glenfathan I've run into. Thanks for that. Jackass?
Builder's wisdom to you.
I'm assuming we can go back to the guy and tell him to fuck off as far as his stupid plan to eat birds goes. Somehow Sagani decided to take the other side of that. Towards the Dreadfire specifically. Yes! It's like, Jesus Christ, we'd gone through almost this whole game with most reactions to us just being the whole Death God-like thing, and now it's suddenly like, oh, fuck, you're from the islands? Fuck you.
What brings you here?
I have spoken with the priests of Hylea, and they informed me that you're chasing a mere superstition with these songbirds. What? Newen said that. Dillam's jaw clenches shut as he folds his arms with a huff. Oh, but what of all the other chanters that told me otherwise? Oh, dear God, we are dealing with an idiot. I'm sure that every chanter that told you this story also dreamed of a quick and easy path to excellence. Dillam frowns but nods, his body slumping. Yes, it does sound like wishful thinking when you put it that way. He lets out a long sigh that ends with a shrug. Thank you for setting me straight on this. I feel silly for having asked in the first place. Thank you, my friend. I don't need rare songbirds, I just need to find some inspiration from within. He bows to you with a pained smile. You'll pardon me, I should stop delaying and write a new song. What the fuck? Why is that minor negative? That's bullshit. Screw you too, buddy. Get over it. You know what, just for that, we're gonna do this one first. Morgan can wait. We're probably not even gonna be able to get to it today because we only got about an hour left. Kana would have some wise words. Kana would probably just laugh at people being stupid like this. I mean, he would have wise words, but he would also laugh. Okay, the viscous liquid gives off a sharp metallic ogre. Any of you actually have any names, or are you all just hanging out here? You're all just hanging out here. Oh, here we go.
Morenci has no right to defend that cowering cat in the back of the maw.
Then track her down and tell her yourself.
Oh, somebody's already mentioned a cat, which means there's also a bear somewhere. Yeah, bear clanswoman, fang hunters. Oh boy. That is a gun. That is another Gallowayne book. Nobody cares about that. Bone pins pierce the hide map at a handful of locations along the Glenfathan side of the Bale River. That is War Paint and Hidden Wonders. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind the Hidden Wonders. We've been missing out on that. Hold on. Having that as a backup would be really nice, I'm not gonna lie. Is there anywhere Sagani can sit to... Damn it. Pop back almost immediately. Come on, come on. Shit. No, okay, fine. I'm not gonna sit here and deal with that.
Kareth, this is no place for sightseeing, even for you. The beasts of Gallowayne's Maw are dangerous, and now more than ever.
A wiry elven man paces the cavern, his face etched with worry lines and his hand irritably thumping his hip. He looks up at you and sighs. What's wrong with the beasts?
They won't fight.
And let me guess, it is Gallowayne's will that they battle.
This is truth.
The Maw has always been home to one great predator. Every so often a challenger comes along and the two battle for territory. But Sul remains in her den, and Ornos can't confront her there. Now, two mighty predators and their kin hunt from the same stock. It's thinning the herd, and it's thinning patience around here, too. He resumes his pacing, and this waiting. It's not the deliberate, watchful waiting of a hunter laying in ambush. It's stagnation, tedium, hoping for something to happen. He clenches his hands into fists, and I'm powerless to act. One half of the fangs will cry favoritism if I try to drag the lioness out myself. Tell me more about these two. There's never been a more cunning hunter than Sul, but some say she's losing her edge. Ornos, on the other hand, is all edge, and many of our members think that he's the rightful successor. His fingers drum a relentless rhythm on his thigh. Blood's simmering, and it's going to boil over if a little doesn't spill soon. Do you favor Sul or Ornos? He frowns. I see both sides. Sul's cunning is unmatched, but Ornos is the mightier of the two. Both embody traits highly prized by Galawain. I have received a vision from the god about these beasts. His eyes go wide. From the clever hound himself. He looks you up and down. If you truly have Galawain's blessing, then I won't stand in your way. But I can believe he sees a cunning champion in you. He hands you a heavy iron key. We do not normally permit outsiders to venture any further into the maw, but you understand that you do so at your own risk. Sul's lions are likely to attack intruders on sight. Nonetheless, perhaps you can coax her into fighting the bear. Do whatever you can to end this stalemate. So this is Galawain's maw.
A den of beasts sacred to the Lord of the Hunt himself. Historically, the greatest predator of Air Glanfath has claimed the back of the maw as its lair. Lately, however, there's been some dispute as to who should occupy that position. And it's leading to discord among our hunters.
Tell me about yourself. I am the leader of the Fangs. We're an order of hunters and warriors devoted to Galawain, and we see that the places of the Builders remain pure. We're not really a tribe, but we do gather and argue as one. But our members come from all the tribes. Most of us were born Three-Tusked Stalgar, Fisher Crane, or Keepers of the Stone, naturally. Where would I find Sul? The back of the maw. He points down the hall on either side of him. You could get there either way, but mind where your feet step. The maw is a dangerous place, and Sul's pride and her advocates are on high alert. And where is Ornos? That's a good question. The bear's out hunting right now, but he'll return soon. He's never gone for long. Interesting how this is working for them.
Nice and slow.
What is this? The remains of a broken bridge, a long collapse lead to the deep chasm. The other side of the bridge pierces through the midst at the far end of the chasm, hanging precariously over the steep fall. The broken stones of the bridge, weathered over centuries of disrepair, are scattered along the edge and side of the chasm. A thin mist rises from below. The stones are coated with slick green moss, making them impossible to grip safely. The wooden beams lodged between the stones on either side of the bridge seem sturdy, enough to support your weight. However, the remains of a broken bridge, long collapsed, lead to a deep chasm. The other side of the bridge pierces through the mist at the far end of the chasm, hanging precariously over the steep fall. So obviously that we can use a rope and grappling hook to get across there, but let's see what else is going on. And that is a club. That's pretty useless.
Tread carefully, Estremor.
An Orlan woman stands ankle deep in the sand, sharpening a spearhead. You must be Bethel's new Estremor. Truth. When I heard she'd let another in, I almost went to the Passage of the Six myself to share words. She points the flint spearhead at you. I assume that other foreigners have come this way recently. Glam Felin, worshippers of Rimmergan, they claim. Looters and defilers by another name, and that's the truth. The spearhead flashes as she shakes it at the door. They disappeared behind the doors of Noonfrost, and now our lake turns to ice and the cold creeps ever closer. She digs a trench in the sand with one foot. Yet Bethel is timid, and she has convinced the other Anamfatha that we must respect these Estromoran and their traditions, no matter what mischief guides their hands. She raises her head, slowly looking back towards the entrance. I am sure that Bethel is looking out for Twin Elms in her own way. Soft words accomplish little, yet they fill the mouths of Estromoran. I sent my own sister, one of my finest scouts, to sniff out the Pale Elves' corruption. I was certain the Anamfatha could not ignore the defilement at Noonfrost once Alwa's own eyes had seen it. But she has yet to return. She looks away from you. Now I bear the responsibility of her fate, and I cannot send the Fangs after her without openly defying the Anamfatha. I could look for Alwa. I was heading towards Noonfrost. She gives you a guarded look. I don't dare to hope. Whatever catastrophe has befallen Noonfrost does not feel like the work of the Kith. But nothing could bring me greater joy than seeing her again. She glances at the sand and frowns. I will take any assistance you can give, Estremor. And what are you doing here? My stocks equip my brethren in the Fangs. My hands train them to fight, hunt, and track. What purpose brings you? What can you tell me about them all? The ancient place of beasts and dangers. Followers of the clever hound, we assemble and train here, hunters, warriors, defenders of the builder's sacred places. Chaos has pervaded the maw, though, more than ever due to this stalemate between the beasts. She shakes her head, but Dasun refuses to intervene, and many itch to settle the matter over blood. Do you have any supplies? Oh, she's got quite a few. One-handed hatchet with additional accuracy and damage against all of the Kith, with an additional 20% attack speed and 10% of hits granted to crits. That's really good. That's actually really fucking good. Bleak Fang has Touch of Rot on critical hit, which is a faux AoE. That's really good too. He's got some exceptional weapons. One-handed battle axe that has exceptional, and crits can inflict prone. That's really good too. And double 3 DR bypass, really? Was that on the S-Stock? Yeah, you're right. 6 DR bypass in total. That's really good. Ooh. Gains +4 shield deflection, grants Harbinger. Faux AoE -3 accuracy. Oh. Interesting. +2 to stealth, +1 to move speed. Not bad. And then she has some supplies. Give me the pry bar, the grappling hook, and the hammer and chisel. I think we have more than enough of these for the rest of the game, but I'm being paranoid, so I'm just going to take them all.
Sure.
Wasn't there another person to talk to? I would think there'd be someone who'd be on the side of the bear, since the other guy's on the side of the lion more so, but I guess not. Or maybe he was talking to her. Can we go through this? Unlocking this will require the proper key. So we probably did not have the right reputation to get the key for down here. Which means we have to go in through this side. Yep. Alright, let's manual save here. There we go. Yep, they're already here. That's great. Okay, what do we got here? Lion, lion. 2 clansmen, one armed for melee, the other... Can't tell if that's a bow or if that's a blade he's got in his hand. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Right there.
Of course.
Oh.
Right.
Ravius, keep up in the front. Sagani, get ready. Itumak. Durance. Okay. Okay, okay. How do we want to do this? Elegina on this side. Him over here, right? We'll have Ader over there. Stasis shell might be useful if we can get up to it. Failing that. I do like that I have the ability to cast level 4 spells right from the beginning if need be. Yeah, high chance of causing an interrupt. Good if they're bunched up. Also grant that to one of our frontliners to keep them alive, which might not be a bad idea. Yeah, that would be good. Okay.
I'm ready.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Elegina on this side, Ader on this side. Itumak hang back until we can establish a front line. Aravius, wait for them to come in and prepare to cast Nature's Mark to give them a debuff. Oh, it's a druid. Of course, it's a fucking druid. Alright, Ader's on that side. Go ahead and give going between for 42 seconds. Yes. Go ahead and grant that on Pelagina. Aravius. Go ahead and throw a Nature's Mark. There we go, centered on him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just got hit by a debuff spell, didn't we? Yep, hobbled across the board. Durance. Where is it? I thought it was under level 3. No. Respondent blows, dire blessing. Pillar of Faith, prayer against restraint. There we go. Casting that. Sagani, I want you to assist on this side with Itumak.
Yeah.
Those ones are going at it. Have her attack them. I'm going to join in with them. Oh, of course he's fucking... That's okay, I just did a whole bunch of damage, so I can now go ahead and cast a control spell on their druid. Perfect. Sweet, we got them.
Need something?
Go ahead and assist. Alright, team up on them. And now team up on them. There we go. Oh. Oh, kill 5 druids with Stormcaller to unlock the next level. That'd be nice. That would be really nice. Once Stormcaller belonged to a young navigator on a merchant ship in the Deadfire Archipelago. She had an almost supernatural gift for predicting the weather. She could smell a storm brewing a day's journey away. Upon her final voyage, she detected a cyclone forming in their path. She instructed the captain to change course and seek shelter in a nearby strait, which he did. Unfortunately, a pirate ship was waiting there. The merchant vessel was boarded and its crew slain. Damn. Grants a bulwark against the elements twice per rest. Very nice.
Huh.
Yep, now we have an easy bulwark against the elements, which is very nice to have. They had nothing. Let's keep moving.
Found something.
Well.
Settle.
Get him. Okay, that made things easier. Multiple traps, not surprised. That appears to be the way forward. I want to double back and see what's over here. What is that? Oh, that's actually apparently... Okay, there's multiple stories to this place. Okay. Suddenly just got a lot bigger. Let's see here. Go ahead and disarm that. Thank you. Free experience points. Never going to turn those down.
Finished.
Thank you kindly. Yep, this is the opposite side of the bridge. More traps.
Where the look?
Oh. Come on. Give me those free experience points. I ain't gonna say no. She's still away from 13. He's still away from 13. They're really far away from 13. Damn. Okay, more clansmen. Oh. Oh. Son of a bitch. Alright, drop out of stealth, everybody. Adair, I need you to keep moving this way. Pelagina, move up that way.
Need something?
That... Is that a druid? Elder Lion, oh dear. Okay. We're gonna need to throw... Going between on Pelagina real fast.
I'm here.
Sagani, I want you to shoot him. Durance. More clans, I know what you mean, but I got another mental energy. Oh god. No, please do not. Please do not. Go that way. Aravius. Okay, they're bunching up on this side. Go ahead and give me a Nature's Mark clustered on them.
I'm here.
There we go. Pelagina's got good resistances there. Go ahead and knock down the clansmen. Oh god, Itumok's in the way. There we go. Aravius, give me... You have an AoE that doesn't hurt us. Yes, Insect Swarm. Perfect. Just go ahead and drop that right on their front line. And then I want you to use that reach weapon of yours and start attacking things. Good hit. Good hit. I've got plenty of focus. No reason to use those. I will go ahead and use a disintegration on the lioness and finish that off. Ow. Vaporized. Very nice. Pelagina's still taking heavy damage despite the modifications. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on there. Durance, can you assist in shooting this guy, please?
Ready, Watcher.
Sagani, keep shooting, please. Good shot. That is a trap right on top of us. Please disarm that before anybody steps forward. Thank you. Damn, I was hoping that she would get the kill on... Sagani would get the kill on that, but oh well. Just regular shit. Alright. What is this, though? Oh, hold on. No. We're not gonna touch that just yet.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, Sint, welcome. Guess we'll finish exploring some more down here. We'll see what that path is in a moment. Oh, what's that? The mist rising from the deeps feels heavy and warm. Jesus Christ. Alright, fall back, fall back. Draw him in. Timok, hold back there. Everybody bunch up. Give me those spells. Give me those spells. Aravius, this is a big group. I am authorizing a plague of insects, lots of raw damage, reduce their concentration and their other effects. That would be great. Thank you kindly.
Ready, Watcher.
Sagani. Still have plenty of binding roots, so we don't want to waste those. Okay. Now cast your AoE heal, please.
I'm ready.
We're going to... Good Horrors. Frightened and Sickened isn't really going to help me. Go ahead and unleash a Soul Ignition on the Lioness. Knock that Berserker down if you would, please. Aravius, I need Nature's Mark on the center of their group. Thank you. Reduce all their defenses. Why? What the hell? Yeah, I want you to cast that. I want you to cast that. You... What the... Oh, wait, what? Caster's melee weapon becomes an ideal instrument for hunting. Yeah. Oh, you cast it on a target to deal damage, and then you get the... Oh, okay, I see how it works. It's a close range spell. Go ahead and target it on her. Thank you. Somehow Itamok has already almost died. I'm not sure how, because he's holding that flank against them. Go ahead and give me the AoE heal, if you would please, Durance. Heal yourself, please. Go ahead and give me a pain block on her. There we go. Adir, knock this guy on his ass, please. Thank you. There we go.
Ready, Watcher.
Sagani, focus on her, please. Yeah, there we go. She got the kill for that one. Did that count as a druid, or did that count as a regular enemy? That counted as a druid.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's gather all that up. I sure hope they don't mind that we're killing a whole lot of their guys, because they wanted us to solve this. Trap, dear God. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a whole bunch of free experience. Oh, is that... Oh, that unlocks that. Okay. Well, don't be angry at me. I'm just exploring. Wanted anything else, we would be the ones dying. That is very true. Gallowayne does seem to be a very hands-on god, even by this world standards.
Worth a look.
He's probably very much of the opinion of there's so many of you willing to fight and die for this, and yet still nothing has been resolved. Fine, I'm getting the outsider to do this, because he'll fucking finish this one way or the other. Because something very much tells me Gallowayne isn't annoyed that this is happening. He's annoyed that they haven't solved the problem yet. He's a very straightforward god. He's not asking for much. He's just saying, fucking figure the problem out. Oh, that is... Okay. Oh, well, shit. I hate it when the game does that. Okay, let's see what happens here. An elven woman interrupts you as you advance into the lair. Behind her is the largest lioness you have ever seen, a sleek beast with fangs as long as carving knives. The woman blocks your path to the lioness, seemingly at ease around the monster. This is Sul's domain, Estramor. She will not leave it for Ornos or for any other challenger. Why does Sul refuse to face Ornos? Ornos is welcome to come confront her, as many challengers have in the past. What the bear's supporters want is for Sul to leave her lair and fight in the open, where he has an advantage. Why would she? If Sul has an advantage here, it's one she's earned. Would anyone expect to blunt the bear's claws in order to even the odds? The Lord of the Hunt gives unique advantages to each of his followers. It is not for us to decide that some of them are worth less than others. The lioness gives a low growl and Arensi smiles. Sul has also recently given birth to many cubs. They're small now, but when they grow, they will be mightier than either Sul or Oranos. But if Sul is killed in combat, the bear will tear her young to shreds. Such is the way of the wild, of course. Her legacy is too valuable to perish. If we truly want the mightiest of beasts in the maw, then her cubs must grow to maturity. What are you doing here with her? She looks at the lion with something between fondness and admiration. Defending the rightful champion of Galawain's maw, Ornos' supporters would have her ousted in favor of a bear that isn't strong enough to come and seize this territory on his own. You know, I'm getting the distinct feeling that Galawain wants me to kill both of them, because if they're fucking up this badly, he doesn't want either of them to be in charge. Oh. What the hell's going on? Oh. Okay. I suppose now we go talk with the bear people. Like, I can't help but feel that Galawain is just done with all of their shit at this point. Galawain seems to favor his followers coming to decisive action, and these guys have been fucking around for who knows how long. Sup, dude? Yep, Ornos, 2 elder bears, 2 regular bears, and 2 bear glandsmen.
Come to see the great Oernos, Estramor? He's back from his hunt. Unlike that lioness, he doesn't stay cooped up in here for long.
God, no. First of all, I can't sing that. Knowing my luck, even just singing those lines would have Disney down on my ass. But yes, that's a good way of doing it. The sacred Glenfathan battle song of the bear. It's stupid. Oh, it's so fucking stupid. Why can't Ornos go and fight the lioness?
She holes up at the back of the maw, surrounded by her pride and the natural hazards of this place. It's not the proper way to meet a challenger. She's got to come out and face Oernos to keep her claim. Anyway, her prime is past. Putting that old beast down would be a mercy at this point.
What are you doing here?
We wait for the big confrontation, but the wait grows exhausting. While Sul hides in the back of the maw, Oernos is denied his victory, and we're all denied the champion we deserve.
Okay, okay. I'm really thinking that that might be the answer, though. End the stalemate between Sul and Ornos. Arensi explained that Sul's advantage is that she has earned and that one no huntress of her cunning would concede. If Ornos wishes to seize her position, he should confront her in her lair. Sul has given birth to cubs that could one day be mightier than either beast if allowed to mature. Neither beast will approach the other, then I'll have to settle matters on my own. So I'm leaning towards supporting the lion, but I still honestly believe that the proper the solution Galawain is looking for is the death of both, because he's just tired of all of this. So we're going to see if the game even lets me do that. And we're going to start by dealing with the bear. So, Adair, I need you right here. Pelagina, I need you right here. Horavius, take up a spot right behind him. You take up a spot right behind him. Durance.
Sure.
Sagani, keep Itumak back until we're ready to flank. Can we just open with an attack? That would be great, honestly. It doesn't count them as an enemy just yet, but we could drop a swarm of insects on them right out of the gate. That's good. Okay, give me a quick save. Adair, go poke the bear, quite literally.
If you stand on the side of that toothless old bag of bones, then you stand in my way.
Oh, interesting that you'd actually have some choices here. Too bad! Alright, you attack them.
I'm ready.
Pelagina, attack them.
Yeah.
We're just going to immediately mind control Ornos. He should be the largest threat. We're going to immediately drop a plague of insects on the entire group.
What?
We're going to immediately drop a blessing on our entire group. Adair, just go ahead and knock him over on his ass, please.
Need something?
Ravius is casting spell. She's casting a spell. Binding Roots, actually. If you could go ahead and shoot a Binding Roots at that Elder Bear to hold him back, that would be great. There we go. He's stuck. He's mind control for 22 seconds. Now I can give her some help. Adair, keep that guy on the ground if you would please. Obvious is still casting spells. Can we get Itumok up to the front to help out? Thank you. Durance, give me an AoE heal, please. Go ahead and keep striking that bear. No. See, what the fuck? They just run away, and then I can't fucking... My front line disappears because the fucking... That is such bullshit. How long am I on the ground for? Not very much longer. That's fine. Nope, nope. Go for him. Ornos, deal with the bear. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, attack. Right there. Thank you. Now go ahead and paralyze him, please. Itumok's holding there. Haravius, deal with the bear. Come on. Thank you. Alright, back over here. Go for the clansman. Good hit, good hit. Still fighting the bear. That guy just transformed. That's not good. Paralyze. Come on, paralyze. Did it work? No, he's hobbled. Just straight up didn't work. Fine. Give me a... Oh no, is he still casting or not? No, yeah, he's still casting. Okay. You guys go for Ornos. You three help me out over here. There we go. Alright, now we deal with Ornos.
Yeah.
Once more, paralyze. There we go. Alright, plenty of gear. Find poleaxe, some coin. Turn to Galawain at Ter Evron. I've resolved the stalemate between the two beasts. Yeah, but I want to see something real fast, Galawain, if you don't mind. I've got a quick question I need to pose to you real fast. Because I think this whole thing has been bullshit, and I don't know why you'd send me in here if we weren't going to be dealing with this. Put you there, put you there, keep Itumok back, Haravius over here, me over here. Just in case, let's go ahead and quick save real fast. Do that immediately. Give me a going between on Pelagina.
I'm here.
Give me a binding roots on the clansman.
What?
Durance, as per usual, give me a blessing on everybody. Adair, knock her ass on the floor. We will go with... Where is the other one? We're going to go with Returning Storm first.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, she just took a hell of a lot of damage. Holy shit. What the fuck? Yeah, crits Pelagina for 56 damage. Soul crits Pelagina for 68 damage. Fucking hell. Holy fuck. Well, it doesn't matter because it looks like we're about to get our asses utterly destroyed by this lion. Holy shit. Jesus, mother of God.
Ready, Watcher.
Okay, well, we got our fucking asses kicked.
For our mighty
Beyond.
Well, fuck me. Now we wait for Adair to die. Because there's nothing he can fucking do. Are you kidding? Everybody else gets their ass absolutely handed to them. Meanwhile, Adair over here having no problems whatsoever. I don't even know how this is happening.
Beyond.
Will die once his heals run out? I mean, yes, but the fact that he's lasted this long is already insane. Fucking Pelagina got like two-shotted. Okay, well, I'm not gonna sit here and waste stream time while this is going on. Fine, we will load the quick save real fast. That's why Tank Adair is a trap. I mean, somewhat. Alright, fine game. I take your hint. We'll leave the lion alone. Well, we still will let him know that we killed the guy, so... Grow up to be quick and fierce, and so will the fangs if we follow their example. Thank you for resolving this, Estremor. Alright. Nothing new to report, nothing new to report. Port of Spirits. Southwest of Gilded Vale. Oh god. Travelers have reported a collection of angry spirits gathering near a circle of cracked Adra pillars. I think I actually know what they're talking about. Those brave enough to venture near the spirits have reported that they appear to be arguing about some long-forgotten legal matters. The locals have quickly learned to take a route that avoids the Adra pillars entirely. More than a few foreign merchants landing at Road's End have fallen victim to the shades. If they're talking ancient politics, I'm gonna send Kana, because that sounds exactly like something he'd be interested in. Send our resident historian to go deal with that. Alright, well, you don't have any comments about what we did. What about
Still
you?
looking around?
And Sul remains champion. Many of the Fangs are gladdened to see her stay. Perhaps it's Galawain's way of telling us to remember our roots and prize our cunning as hunters. Thank you for your help, Krita. May Galawain guide your path. And take this with our thanks. He seems to suddenly remember something. You might visit Ter Evron and pray to the Lord of the Hunt. He sometimes grants special favors to those who prove themselves. Alright, well that's one temple taken care of. Ow. Okay, so Noonfrost it is. Next. We'll at least be able to get some of that done. So apparently there were some non-Glenfathan pilgrims who came here, and they're pissing off Rimmergand with whatever they're doing. The pale elf searches you with ice-blue eyes. She shifts and knits her fingers together. Welcome to Noonfrost. Most of the temple is currently closed for sacred ceremonies to Rimmergand. She forces a smile and waves to the eastern doorway. Our shrine is to your right. You're welcome to make your offerings to Rimmergand there, but the rest of the temple is off limits. This already just doesn't sound like Rimmergand's practitioners. Like, what the hell's going on here? It seems the cold has been spreading from Noonfrost. She stiffens. Rimmergand is the god of winter. It's been many years since his temple was attended. There's nothing strange about a little chill around the place now. She lowers her head. If it bothers you, then perhaps you should go. Yeah, this sounds suspicious as fuck. You can do Noonfrost without killing anyone? I mean, we'll see, but it is Rimmergand. Doesn't sound like his practitioners. For one thing, Rimmergand doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who gives much of a shit about proper procedure and rituals. He's the god of decay and entropy, of final ends. He seems to favor silence over noise, seems to be his main thing. So the fact that these people have just shown up and are starting to do a whole bunch of things here doesn't strike me as proper worship of Rimmergand. Why don't you tell me about Rimmergand? He's the god of snow, of cold, entropy, and collapse. Many see him as a harsh god, but few recognize that he also gives life in his own way. All things wind to a merciful end within his shadow, and to feed creation elsewhere. She frowns, gnawing her lip. But he is a silent god, and his ways are mysterious. To follow him is to accept inevitability without explanation. See? And yet he spoke to us. The other gods who are not silent gods didn't even speak to us, but the silent god of all people spoke to us. This sounds suspicious as hell. Why is most of the temple closed? As I said, we are in the middle of sacred ceremonies, she enunciates carefully. They're rather complex, and we do not permit outsiders to witness them. She glances at the elves over her shoulder. Many of my clan get rather touchy about them, which is why you should visit the shrine and then take your leave. What are you doing here? My clan journeyed from the White that Wends to pay sacred homage to Rimmergand, here at Noonfrost. We learned that this place had been abandoned for many years, and we felt it our duty to tend to one of our god's oldest temples. It has been our long journey, but Rimmergand demands endurance, and no doubt he will reward us for ours, but he doesn't. The whole thing with him is that if something has fallen into decay, it is to decay. If it's falling into decay, let it decay. That's the whole point here. At least reliably always do this so I can anyone. Oh, we'll see. Sagani's mouth is set in a grim frown. I hope it is. I know we can ask her about that, but hold off. Oh, wow. Kana's already done. That was fast. Kana was prepared to fight a mob of angry spirits in the Circle of Vadra Pillars, but quickly discovered that the Shades simply wanted a resolution to a number of old legal disputes. Surprisingly cognizant for spirits, the Shades presented their cases over several long hours. Kana acted as the group's arbiter, handing down decisions and putting the spirits to rest. After the last pair of bickering Shades finally faded into the beyond, Kana discovered the remains of previous trespassers, including a fine belt of meditative chimes on the belt of an unfortunate monk. Ah, see, I told you Kana would have that on hand. Plus 25 concentration, minus 1 stealth. No, not bad. I mean, maybe at the beginning of the game, but now we have belts that do way more. A belt of meditative chimes that were once owned by a monk, unfortunate enough to wander to a mob of angry spirits. You recovered the belt after helping the spirits. Yep. Still, could be useful maybe on a mage, just to keep the Pale Elf Vanquisher. Okay. What have you got in here? We've got garnets and copper alds. Pale Elf healers, paladins. What does that book say? Pages of this tome glisten under a thick layer of frost. That is an urn. Wait, which direction did she say was the shit. What direction did she say was the shrine? I'm not trying to piss anybody off just yet. Shit. Is she not gonna... Shit, I don't remember which side she said it was. Fuck. To the right, I think she said? Yeah, there we go. Shrine. Okay. Whew. The water of this well has frozen solid, trapping small fish from the lake underneath the temple. Okay. Refracted light dapples the icy mirror behind this statue. Let's see if we can... Is that... No, yeah, that's a statue to Rimergan there. Each line and wrinkle of this warrior's weather-beaten face has been chiseled from ice.
I'll get it open. Finished.
Aha. Crystal key. The thing is, though, if I take a key, then I don't get more experience for unlocking doors. So why would I do that? Alright, we're gonna quick save there.
Finished.
Hold up. Yeah, wait for this guy to leave. So someone is patrolling over here because they keep setting off the door. Come on, go down, get out of the red. Wait for it to go back up. There we go. Open the door. Go, go, go. Oh, shit. He's going that way. Open the door. No, fuck. Shit balls. Alright, hold on. Load the quick save. Maybe we should try the other side of the temple where there was only one dude and there was a locked door from the beginning. I think that sounds like a good idea. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. To be fair, we can unlock the door at the very least and get some free experience. That'll make our jobs a little bit easier. Oh. Hello. Do not trespass against our will. Okay, fine. Sounds good. Don't mind me. Yep, this dude's gonna come over here. I know how this works, yep. And he's gonna wander away.
If it makes you rest easier.
Come on, get us down into the yellow. There we go.
Finished.
Okay. Shit. Oh, fuck, shit. I don't have much room to maneuver here. Alright, go. Dun 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 dun.
Finished.
Open up the door. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Sorry, I'm so used to using fast mode to just get through the game. Attach patches of fur cling to the tent liner. Despite the chill, the bedrolls feel warm inside. Equipment. Let's go ahead and pop this open.
Finished.
Oh, some more equipment. White crystal key. As I said though, why would I take keys when I get experience for not doing that? Got to put all this away. Also, oh, we got a unique. Is it just a one-handed sword? Oh, but it gets the 3DR bypass that you usually find on the S-Stock and the rapier. Otherwise, it's just an exceptional longsword. Okay. Cool.
Sure.
Alright. Let's keep moving. That priest comes out here, but he stops over here. So as long as we keep moving, we'll be fine. Whoa, what the... Okay, I don't know why the game did that.
Finished.
Go ahead and pop that open for me, if you would, please. Quick save. Anybody in here? Ah, trapped attack. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Is he gonna move? Or is he just gonna stand there? He's staring at the wall. Hey, we got a level up from that. Ooh, the Wendwalker. A quarterstaff with freeze damage, additional enemies engaged, and weapon reach. Not bad. SMR was a wizard from the White That Wins. Later in life, he developed an obsession with Rimmergan, convinced that if he could see the great aurochs with his own eyes, the mysteries of creation and destruction would become clear to him. He wandered the frozen continent for decades with little more than his quarterstaff, the Wendwalker, and his sealskin coat, chasing the rumors of Glamfellan tribes and the death-cold gales that swept the glaciers. A migrating tribe eventually came upon Wendwalker, planted in the snow and pointing to the sky. There was no sign of Esmar, but the legend spread that he had found Rimmergan and now follows in the shadow of the mighty beast. Cool. So that guy's over there. He's still staring at the wall, though, so hold on. Let's move Sagani. She's got the highest stealth score right now. Move up. Activate whatever that is. You hear nothing. You hear nothing. You hear nothing. Get through the fucking door before he notices. Thank you. Aha! What the hell are you all up to? As you near the platform, the temperature drops sharply. Something saps every last bit of warmth from the air, leaving the breath of your lungs cold as it escapes your lips. You see a doorway filled with glowing ice. Silhouetted against it is an elven man, his arms outstretched.
It's gotten hard to concentrate. You shouldn't be here, traveler, and the others of my clan won't be so lenient if they find you sneaking around.
The pale elf turns to look at you, exhaustion written upon his elegant face. He rubs one red eye with the heel of his hand, and you notice that his little finger has shriveled to a blackened nub. Rimmergan sent me to close the frost-hewn breach. His eyes widen. You are a man of compassion. Would you trap us here another 100 lifetimes? He shakes his head, weariness creeping into his eyes. We can't continue like this. We've got to find a way into the White Void. The White Void?
Rimmergan's domain. A place where all things are mingled like snowflakes in a blizzard. It's a vortex of such chaos that even the Beast of Winter himself could not calculate the trajectory of the infinite particles of essence there. As souls are broken down over successive reincarnations, they become part of the White Void. It is a place where all things find perfect unity and freedom. The frost-hewn breach is a weak spot in the barrier between us and the White Void. Thin ice on a frozen lake. We've come from the White That Wends to find it.
Tell me about you and your people.
We call ourselves Glamfellan. Most here know us as Pale Elves. We hail from the White That Wends, a glacial continent at the southernmost edge of Eora.
They're nomads, Sagani nods. Hardy lot. Some of the tribes occasionally spend a season in southern Nasatak.
We received a watcher in our lands a season ago and paid her to tell us of the origins of our souls. We wanted to contemplate the essence that fills us and consider how Rimmergaunt might shatter and sow us once our days are spent. We were not prepared for what we learned.
He bows his head, pressing bloodless lips together. I don't think the Watcher was either. She explained that every one of us had been reborn whole into the clan over centuries, generations spanning back to the first days our people set foot on the White That Wends. we had all been cut off from the mercy our God promises. That night, we began awakening, experiencing fragments of our past lives, old hatreds, dead passions, tangled memories. It illuminated nothing but the realization that we are doomed to live 1,000 pointless lives, never closer to Rimmergan's salvation. How the hell did he conclude that those lives were pointless? Aravius ponders aloud behind you. Maybe Rimmergan showed them exactly what they asked, and they can't see the answer in front of them. I suppose when one seeks when they ought to listen, a leap of reasoning is to be expected. Really? After the conversation we had at the beginning of this stream, after the conversation we had inside the fucking Blood Sands about your unwillingness to accept certain pieces of divine revelation? Really, Haravius? We want to die. We want Rimmergan to scatter our souls into the ether, that their million fragments might become one with the void. He looks at his hand and a single frostbitten finger. My magic hasn't found a way through the frost-hewn breach yet. There must be one. You want to open the breach.
So that we can die permanently. We've lived more lifetimes than any mortal should. We've been faithful followers of Rimmergan since our earliest incarnations. He's the god of entropy. Why would he force us to be reborn again and again?
Aravius looks at Glassfall solemnly, and then looks at you. Oh, that rage sounds painfully familiar. Why did the God of Seekers punish me for asking a question? I wish I could give him peace, but Whale has shown me. The gods act in ways that are unnoble to us. To ascribe them motivations is to assume them to be folk, not gods. Better to accept and advance than in lament, and stay stuck in one place.
But if anything could pass through the frost-hewn breach, it would enter directly into the White Void. This death is overdue for us. We just have to find a way through.
Are you really thinking that you can oppose the will of a god? He laughs, but his eyes do not. You think that because Rimmergan spoke to you in a dream, that you can march in here and tell us about his will? I mean, given that he's supposed to be a silent god and not supposed to communicate with his followers, and he decided to talk to me, I do think that that has some level of importance, good dude. Or that your elegant words will direct our faith? We followed him, and suffered by him, for almost as long as this temple has stood. Now we seek the very end that he promised. Do not lecture me about my duties to my god. If Rimmergan wished for your souls to enter the White Void, wouldn't he make it so? I do not pretend to understand his will. Neither should you. So we should give another 100 lifetimes of toil to devotion of a god who will not even deign to give us reason. He heaves a sigh, clouding the air between you. We have been faithful to Rimmergan all these generations, and even now it is his mercy we seek. All these centuries are but the blink of an eye to one who is eternal. He looks at the drawn, haggard faces of his people. If it is Rimmergan's will, then we will go back to the White that wends. And perhaps one day, he will reward our endurance. They turn to leave, shuffling through Noonfrost's ice-slick halls. Okay, so I was wrong. They are true believers of Rimmergan. They're just desperate. We had to talk them down, basically. Wait, so... I thought then we were going to use the thing to close it. Are we not? Is it still in the... It's still in our inventory. Oh, there we go. A pedestal of black ice rises from the floor. Long, finger-like ice crystals as hard and clear as diamonds surround and pierce the altar. A hole has been gouged out in the middle of the altar. Although it can't be more than a few inches deep, it sucks at the air around you. Plug the hole with the shard of Rimmergan. The shard fits perfectly, and as it settles into place, the cold around the altar dissipates. Similarly, the portal before you seems to thicken, and the mysterious seepage tapers off. There we go. And now we can explore this place. Sweet. Without having to worry about people attacking us.
Constant.
Yep, that door opens that way. That area has been sealed off. Oh, these are still locked, which means I can still get experience. Aha! Anything else in here?
Worth a look.
Aha, trap. Go ahead and pull that out. Very nice. Potion of Mirrored Image. Scroll of Maelstrom. Yeah, so from what I remember, if you let them open the breach, the cold, the breach fits further and really messes up the area. I'm not surprised.
Finished.
It seems very uncommon for Rimmergan to give a... What the... Oh, right. We were going to look for the person who was lost in here. I completely forgot about that. A young Orlan scrambles on the stone floor, pressing her back against the wall and baring her teeth at you. Her fur is patchy and matted. As you step into the room, she squints and turns her large ears towards you. A heavy sigh escapes her tiny body. Please take me. My eyes mistook you for one of them. Please get me out of here. What can you tell me about the people who captured you? Clan of Pale Elves from the White that Wends, devotees of Rimmergand, or so they claim. Their actions suggest another intent. They've come ready to fight. Wizards, priests, paladins, and a wizard named Gasval leads them, a man obsessed with the Frosthewn Breach. Okay, we can kind of skip this because we've already resolved this issue. Saying they want to see the upkeep of Noonfrost. Yeah, make a run for it. Go. It's fine. There's nothing... Trust me, there's nothing else left here. These bronze manacles gleam with frost. Why is it... Okay, I guess it's the same description. Alright, yeah. So yeah, no reason to talk about that with her. Nobody gives a shit about that stuff. What else is over here? Nothing?
Steady does it.
Yeah, Noonfrost Library. With... I guess now we can take the keys. Why not? The Enigmatic God of Cold. We've read that. Water drips from the edges of the alcove. That's probably not something you'd want to have happen in a library, I'm just gonna say. Probably not the best idea. I also want to check out where that guy was standing next to the wall, because I think there might have been something else over there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Winter's Woes, a grimoire. Oh, we'll put that in my inventory for right now, until we can give that to Aloth. Edrang Hadra, we've read that. And the Enigmatic of Cold, we've read that. Yep. Thank you. Cool temple, bro. Yeah, for a second I thought you said cool temple, bro, and I thought it was just being a dude bro moment there, but you are right. It is an interesting temple. And it is cold, because of course it is. I guess we'll grab this too while we're here. Thank you for the garnets and the money. Ain't gonna say no to that. I guess that means we can take a run back to Galawain's shrine and deal with that real fast. Oh, there we go. Come by the Maw sometime. The rest of the Fae. These will want to meet the cunning Estremor who freed me.
Do you enjoy hunting with your Stelgar form? Or do you prefer traditional weapons?
Well, my favorite trick is to pretend I'm just a dead Orlan until something gets really close. Then I shift.
A clever tactic.
I'll say, I once killed a moose by giving it a heart attack.
I've seen moose. I somehow severely doubt that. If anything, the moose would probably just try to run you over. All the Mr. Freeze puns. Ah, yeah. If I remembered that movie any better, maybe I could have made some, but God, I haven't seen Batman and Robin in years. Found Alwa. A breath catches in her throat. Your own eyes have seen her. I freed her from the Noonfrost. She's outside enjoying the fresh air before she returns. She releases a gasp of relief. You've accomplished a great service for the Fangs, and for me. She takes another deep breath. I was wrong about you, Estremor. I did not see you truly. Please, accept a gift worthy of honor and skill. Yay. Glad we could help. Oh, we'll get out of their way. How are you? Whole and well, thanks to you. Not that Lara's given me a chance to rest. She eyes the other, older, Orlan woman. My sister makes me earn my keep around here. You spent long enough stuck in the frozen cell. Your limbs need exercise. Teach me what you know. Oh! What the fuck was that? Blooded Hunter. +1 damage reduction for slash and pierce and +1 stealth. Oh, nice. I kind of wish I could put that on someone where it would actually matter for stealth, but thank you.
Hail, Estremor.
And she doesn't have anything else for me. Good, good, good. I hope that got me a little more reputation with Twin Elms. We're still an ally. Ovates are ally. Ethic Null is troublemaker. Fangs are ally. Okay, so they are also counted as a faction. What did she give you? She gave me a stat bonus. Like, she gave me straight up damage resistance. Blooded Hunter, +1 damage reduction versus slash and pierce, +1 to stealth. Which, yeah, Cypher gains +1 to stealth, Blooded Hunter gains +1 to stealth. So, yeah. We did? Ah, we did. Scales of the Raven. +2 to stealth, +2 to perception. Not bad for a medium armor. Once a simple set of scale mail worn by an elven scout of the Fisher Crane tribe. It was transformed along with its wearer. The scout and his party ambushed an expeditionary force that had ventured too far into the Thane Bog. One of the explorers, a wizard, cursed the scout with a spell that turned him into a raven. The scout survived the battle. It took advantage of his new form to track the wizard back to his tower. When the scout broke the curse, he found that his armor retained some of the affliction's magic. Farsighted and nearly undetectable, he broke into the wizard's tower, evading its magical defenses and killed him in his sleep. The suit is black and form-fitting, and the feather-like scales grow in erratic whorls. They fall off over time, only to grow back again in new patterns. Oh, cool.
Sure.
I guess we should just go ahead and... What can we do now? Let's go back and talk to the Ethic Null priest and see what the hell we can do there, because I can't imagine him going quietly. I really can't. Oh, head north? Wait, why would I head north? I mean, I know there's another area, but...
Did your father teach you to hunt?
No, that task fell to the tribe's huntmaster, though he tried everything in his power not to teach me.
Were you a difficult student?
No, the huntmaster felt that meadow fur was a sign of weakness. I could do nothing right by him on account of my hair color.
I'm familiar with the sentiment. From the Valine Republics to Erglan Fath, narrowness of mind is truly universal.
Oh yeah, I do need to unlock that, don't I? No, you're right. Still something good to do. I believe also some of the other side quests we have are up in that area too, so we at least want to get that. It should be this one over here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we've got that unlocked. Now I want to go talk to the Ethic Null people before we go any further. Need to figure out what they're up to. I highly doubt they're going to be willing to do this. I really don't want to get into a war with an entire circle of druids. Please no. Yeah, I know, that's the problem. Hey, do you want to die so that I can go do something? Like, his whole philosophy of sacrifice might be an angle of attack we can use, but not for an outsider. He's not going to give a shit about that. Not in the goddamn chance. See, I don't know what the shortest route is, so I'll just trust the AI to take it for me. There we go. Right. Hello, Archdruid Reshton. Need to talk to you for a moment. Bareth believes that it's time you paid your dues. Reston grunts. Then he can descend from his mighty pantheon and tell me himself. Ah, that is pretty much exactly what I expected. Okay, we will come back later. Jesus Christ, I should have known. I thought there would be at least something we'd be able to talk to him. Nothing you can do about it? Yeah, I figured. Oh god, we will deal with that. I don't know. We'll go try talking to the elf first. Maybe, since they're a bit more peaceful, they'd be willing to at least talk. You need to kill him and everyone else on the way. I know, Tenwin. My brain is already contemplating that, but given the fact that we're almost at the end of today's session, that's not happening right now. Oh, bye-bye. Great. So I have to fight not one, but 2 full circles of druids. The worst fucking spellcasting class in the game that I hate fighting. And I'm sure the people of Twin Elms are going to be so happy with me killing multiple fucking groups. I guess we'll head back to the Elm Shore. And we'll try to talk to the other group. Sacrifice for blood and essence. How about this? Blood for the blood god. Yeah, apparently. I have no idea. Oh, right. The ogre's over here. And I don't even know where the rest of this shit is, because we did not have a good time when we tried to fight our way through this place before. Oh, many boars. Would killing the boars be worth experience? Do we have all of the bestiary stuff? Stone Pass over the river just to the north. Good to know. Do we have all of the bear? I don't think we do. Do we? Boar and young boar? I don't think we... There's no way we have all of the experience for them after having only defeated 2 of them. Maybe we'll kill the boars later.
Yeah.
With my luck, they're a bunch of druids that have shapeshifted, and then I'll be really fucking angry. Oh, you do? Okay, I guess there's no reason to kill them then, unless I feel like it. Okay, F5. Oh. Oh, Jesus motherfucking God.
I'm ready.
Will-o-wisp, Adragon, can we please grab the Adragon, please? Please, grab her. Thank you.
Need something?
Ravius, go ahead and reduce their deflection, if you would please. Focus fire on the Rain Blight.
Ready.
Please get out of Itumok's way. Thank you. Please get out of Durance's way. Durance, go ahead and throw down that. Go ahead and swing on that. There we go. That is dominated for another 20 seconds. Holy shit, she's taking a lot of damage. There we go. Can we paralyze? Yes, we can. Go for the regular Rain Blight. And they're back. And they brought friends. Please dominate the Adragon again. Yes, good for 20 seconds. Okay. Horavius, can you double? No, you can't double back because everything... Where coming from? And now Pelagina has been mind controlled. And for some reason I can't move. What? Horavius, what are you doing? And now she's back on fucking... Are you kidding me? Pelagina. Dominate for 2 seconds. Are you fucking kidding? Stop changing targets, Horavius. Attack the one that I tell you to.
What?
Please knock them down. Please knock them down. Thank you. God, they're taking no goddamn damage. And yeah, I'm just immune to pierce, damn it. That's why. Switch to the fucking secondary weapon. That's why I'm doing no fucking damage. We blind? Yes. Horavius, please help. Okay, can we please focus? Thank you. Well, that was the end of today's session because I did not need that to happen.
Sure.
And we are over the 3-hour mark. Oy vey. Okay. Still, lots of talking, a little bit of... What? What? Hello? Game?
Yeah.
No, please let me leave. Are we done? Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Ugh. We will find out what that was next time. Because I am over time, and I have to go get ready for work. Oh, it's been a blast having everybody here. Thank you all for checking us out. And thank you all for joining me on Pillars of Eternity. We will continue on Friday at the same time. Looking forward to Friday. So am I, Tenwin. So am I. It's good to have you all here. Let me go ahead and mute that. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid real fast since we've got the time. Why does it keep saying my bitrate is unstable when everything seems to be fine and nobody's been telling me I've been having any issues? That's weird. I don't know. Hey, Xander is streaming. Looks like he's done with Rogue Trader. I'm not sure what he's playing. Something called The Sinking City. Looks like a horror third-person game. We'll go ahead and give him a raid real fast. So yeah, we'll go ahead and raid Xander. Thank you all for joining me, as I said, and I will see you all on Friday. Have a glorious rest of your Wednesday and a glorious rest of your week if I don't see you. Have a great week. Bye.